What's up, Narc? Thank you for resubscribing. Appreciate it.
What you think about when you're born into a fire? Let them burn it out. Sell them to the
Michaela.
They wanna let
Michaela Robertson. No, I'm not on time, but I'm better than I was the last two nights. That's all that really matters, right? Last two nights, it was really fucking late. Someone found a picture of the dog witnessing Christy Nome's husband cross-dressing in the pictures, and maybe that's why she had to put the dog down. I'm just saying. That's right, Narc. You got it. I have to do a little bit better timing because Ollie said something about he wants to come on the show, so I'll probably just go live from my phone at the house one evening and let him hang out and talk to everybody. I didn't think he really cared for, usually I have to make him come over here and say hi and shit, but today he's like, I want to do it. I haven't done it in a long time, so. All right, you got to bear with me a second while I start Facebook stuff up. You guys heard about this Mike the Lineman guy? God damn, is he in some fucking trouble? Ooh. All right, let's see. Share, yes. Change account, switch around, wait on it, reload. A lot of shit to do. Oliver for president. Oliver would probably be the most compassionate president. I give that. He cares so much about other people. Even more than himself, I guess. A lot of times. Trying to take up for other people instead of looking out for number one. As a kid, I didn't realize that other people even fucking existed, dude. It was all about me. But Oliver's not that way. Share. Change account. Share. Go over here, hit the like button. We're almost there. Hold on just a second. I'll play the intro. Oliver tried teaching himself Spanish in first grade because there was a kid from Mexico who didn't speak he spoke English, just not the greatest English. And Oliver didn't like that nobody was talking to him. So he tried to teach himself Spanish in first grade using YouTube. He told his teacher what he was doing, and the teacher told us that they almost started crying when Oliver told him.
Hey Daddies, it's me, the Linda Binda from TikTok. I wanted to make this video because I wanted to thank you for watching Cold Beer Confessionals with Will Bird. I think that's just incredible. I've watched a few episodes and I'm just like very intrigued. But you know what I'm most intrigued in is Big Daddy's meat stick. I heard that it's very thick, like a good old German sausage. You know, Linda and her coochie loves that. Oh, never mind. Let's not
Oliver,
go there.
for head of
Anyways,
USA.
I hope you have a good show and enjoy it as you can. There's a lot of weird things that go on, especially when it comes from the realm of Linda Bindaland. So, enjoy the show. Thanks for watching. Peace out.
Someone said that there was like some type of war or something going on in the Middle East, and there's been I don't know what they were talking about. Something was going on in the Middle East, and that the U.S. president, I think they said it's still Trump, might address it, or I don't know. There's something going on in the Middle East or Middle Eastern Ohio. I don't know. It was just I can't remember. All I'm worried about is Mike the Lineman. You guys know what a lineman rodeo is first? We got to start there. A lineman rodeo. A rodeo is like a competition where, you know, cowboys get together or whatever, and they do rodeo shit, right? A lineman rodeo is basically a competition for linemen, right? They practice like speed climbing poles and tying off high voltage lines, and you know, they compete. It's kind of like lumberjack challenges. Here's some videos. This is a speed climb. So there's a lot of pride in like being a lineman. I'm sure you've heard people talk about it, how we keep your power on, and you know, when everybody's hiding from the storm, we go out, blah, blah, blah. And there's a lot of people that are into these competitions, the same way that like firefighters are into competitions. You guys have seen, there's some really cool firefighter competitions where they have like these super fucking like 1,000 horsepower pickup trucks, and they throw a ladder off the back of it, and guys are jumping and hooking up hoses and shit. Anyways, a lineman rodeo is just a competition of linemen. But when there's a lineman rodeo, let's say there's a lineman rodeo going on in Nashville or actually let's say like Knoxville. There's going to be a ton of linemen from all the Southeast. There's probably going to be a few from like the Northeast and the Pacific Northwest and maybe some from California, but the bulk of them are going to be like from that general area, right? All through the South, if it was in Tennessee. If it was in New York, I would expect all the Northeastern linemen to be there, plus some from the South, or a lot of them to be from the Northeast, and then some from the South, some from the Southwest, you know, depending on how far you have to travel. So these lineman rodeos come into these towns where they have them, kind of just like if you had like a lumberjack competition or a fucking NBA game, right? Or a basketball tournament. Say you had a big high school or college basketball tournament, and there's like 10 teams in town to play this tournament. They'd be out, they'd be at bars, they'd be hanging out. You know, they bring revenue, right? They come and buy shit, so it's good for the towns. But linemen, notoriously, are rumored to cheat on their spouses quite a bit. I'm not saying it's true. I'm just saying if you look at it statistically, even linemen's wives will talk about how bad it is when they're on the road. Some linemen's wives have adopted the, like, he makes good money, he takes care of me. When he's on the road, you know, we're single. And when he's home, we're married. Like, basically have an open relationship with their husbands while he's gone out of town. And when he's in town, it's not an open relationship. Other wives just bitch about it. There are even wives that'll get mad at the girl for some reason. Most of the time, the girl doesn't know the lineman's married, right? He's in town to work for a storm. He's there for 2 or 3 weeks, or a power plant, or this, that, the other, or a rodeo. They don't know they're married. But there are women that'll make videos saying, yeah, my husband's a lineman. Yeah, he makes good money, but he's fucking married. You better leave him alone. I see you trying to get your claws into him. And like, they get mad at the other women. And 99.9% of the time, the women don't know, right? But it all went down, and normal people that have no idea that this world even exists got a taste of lineman drama with Mike the lineman. Mike the lineman. Let me see if I can find the original accounts. It was from, I think it might have been that account. No, Stitch With. I can't play the music, obviously. Michaela West was the original account. I can't play the music. I'll mute it for just a second. It's that, but you hear it. It's Kenny Chesney's that Out Last Night. And this is the original video that pops up, okay? It says, SOS, my friend found her soulmate last night in Huntsville, Alabama, after the lineman rodeo, and we know nothing about him except his name is Mike, and his friends kept calling him like the birds in Finding Nemo, Mike, 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 Mike. You know how the birds say mine? They say Mike, 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 right? It says, help us get Nemo home. So this person, this Michaela's friend, was, you know, swept off her feet by one Mr. Mike here. Now, I had no idea. This just popped up in my feed because I have a lot of trade stuff that pops up in my feed. It literally had only been posted for about I think it was like an hour and a half or so. I don't know why I was going to say 80 or 90 minutes. It was like an hour and a half that the video had been posted. And I just commented because I thought it was funny. Oh, that's Mike. He's married and got 2 kids. That's what I posted, just as a joke, right? I was like, fuck it, just joking. He's a lineman. You know, everybody says a lineman cheat, whatever. Just as a joke, I said, oh, that's my buddy Mike. He's married and has 2 kids. Anyway, so we see watch the video. There'll be no audio on it because I don't want to get copyright strike. But just imagine Kenny Chesney Out Last Night playing. So there he is dancing. Nothing wrong with dancing. Ooh, he's kind of close to friend there. I don't know if you catch this, but look how he side-eyes this camera. He immediately picks up that there's a camera recording him. Watch. Makes eye contact with the camera. Then gets out of direct view. Makes eye contact again. Oh, whoa, whoa, Mike. Mike. Are we just dancing or what are we doing? Almost immediately. The video had, well, not almost immediately. I commented almost immediately. The video had been up for like 16 hours or some shit. And we get a comment from the wife. Hi, this is Mike's wife. He's busy explaining to, there's worse pictures. There's pictures of them like full on making out. He's busy explaining to our 2 kids what's going on. Oh, shit. Oh, that's a Bort donation that Bort convinced you to do last night, but you weren't here live last night, so you had to do it today. That makes perfect sense. I'll make sure that Bort knows all about that donation. Between that and the $250 donation, Bort's going to be mad. This is for Bort, but he has collect it in person. Sorry for getting your ass whooped in advance. Yeah. You got me. Thank you. Thank you very much for the donation. Codename Narc. I appreciate it. So his wife hops on the comments and says, "This is Mike's wife." And she had the profile picture with him. I went and checked. Like, anybody could have said that. And it started blowing up. "This is Mike's wife. Mike is busy right now explaining to our two kids why he is on the internet and what's going on in this video." And that has brought out all the people commenting about it. Hold on. We'll get into some of these.
Net talking, and his wife has... Lineman Mike has...
"Hi, I'm Michael's wife. He's busy explaining this to our two children right now." Someone said, "Bullshit." And she says, "Oh, that's him. That's the guy I said forever to over 10 years ago." And includes some pictures from her Instagram. Over 10 years ago, dude. Been married for 10 years. Not to mention, people dug up images of him. The Lineman rodeo usually takes a couple days. The night before at the bar with a different girl kissing on her.
The internet talking, and his wife has...
That's right, Narc. Thank you.
Comment this morning, and she's also updated her profile.
I changed my pic to one of us again. I was getting crucified for not immediately changing my picture when I was trying to just simply breathe and get through the day. I changed it back to try to protect my privacy because this shit is insane and I'm such a private person, but changed it to another pic so people would know. I've never handled anything like this in my entire life. I'm absolutely gutted.
Picture. If you don't know what I'm talking about,
you don't have to justify shit to anyone. These ladies need to get a life if they're wondering why you're changing your pics. I hope you and your babies get some peace and some answers. You don't have to justify anything to anyone. You literally got cheated on. There's a lot to navigate. I'm praying for you, Laura. Laura's her name, by the way.
Just a quick little recap. So this girl's friend posted this video saying, "My friend found her soulmate last night in Huntsville, Alabama after the Lineman rodeo, and we know nothing about him except his name."
Dude, with all the internet stuff that's going on right now, like, cheating just is becoming less and less of an option, right? Imagine it's like the Coldplay CEO. Remember those CEO and his whoever it was in his office, his CFO or secretary or whatever the fuck it was.
Name is Mike, and his friends kept calling him like the birds in Finding Nemo. Mike, 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 help us get Nemo home. Well, Mike's wife had initially commented this saying, "Hi, I'm Michael's wife. He's busy explaining this to our two children right now." And this just absolutely shattered my heart for her.
Apparently, one of her friends, Laura is not a very internet-y person, right? She doesn't put her shit on the internet. She doesn't post a whole lot, you know. Apparently, one of her friends spoke to her, and this was the final straw. They are getting separated.
And her children. Mike's grandmother also commented saying, "I'm Mike's grandmother. I am also mad at him." Well,
Mike's gam. Mike's gam showed up and said, yeah, you know, I'm pretty pissed too.
Just this morning, his wife posted another comment update saying, "My life has been completely turned upside down and I've never been in a situation like this. My faith will carry me through this. I won't be checking my updates anymore. Thank you to everyone for your loving, encouraging words and prayers. Please keep them coming as I'm in absolute shambles."
I don't blame her for changing her profile picture to just a black picture, because people that wanted to cover this on TikTok were grabbing the profile picture and making videos with it and shit. And if she's a private person, that's fine, right? Some people are like that. They don't want their kids. They don't want their picture. They don't want a picture with their man. They just don't want their picture being spread around.
Spending time healing and being with my kids.
Have you seen the Ashley Madison documentary? I lived that motherfucker, okay? I'm still part of the leaks. I had 9 different accounts. I kept getting banned for this one weird thing I kept trying with the girls, but, you know, they don't limit how many emails you can sign up with, so.
God bless. And this was her profile picture, and it has since been updated to this one. A lot of people were saying before they even opened the comments that they just knew Mike had a wife. I had that gut feeling too.
By the way, linemen, electricians, anybody that works with electrical don't wear wedding rings at work. If you're looking at a lineman and you're trying to figure out, he may lie to you, right, and say he's not married. I'm sure a lot of them do. You're looking for a tan line because when they aren't at work, they'll be wearing it, right? When their wife's around, they'll be wearing it. Or a tattoo. A lot of them get it tattooed on. But they don't wear wedding rings because of the chance of electrocution.
And then
you can get enough voltage that it'll like fuck up your whole hand, if not blow your hand apart. Like, it's insane.
I opened the comments. His wife's comment was the first one that I saw. I am praying so hard for Laura and their children.
I'm kind of glad she's not being dumb and like saying, we're going to work it out, blah, blah, blah. He's probably cheated on you every time he fucking went out of town. We've already got pictures of him cheating on you at least twice in 2 days being on this rodeo. Do you think that's the first time? You think he was fucking nervous? He's like, well, you don't understand because, some guys talked me into it. 2 days in a row? Get the fuck out of here, dude. Yeah. Laura ain't made Mike smile like that in 14 fucking years. Life's short, Mike. File for divorce and run back to Alabama. So he has some supporters taking up for him, I guess. So it ended up not only exposing Mike, but some of Mike's friends that were with him are also married linemen. And they got outed as well. Check this out.
Everybody in Huntsville, but we hang out there a lot with our...
I agree. Life's short. Lying is too much work. And the amount of pain it causes the other person. Like, if you couldn't imagine, like, I don't know what I would do. It would be so hurtful. And I would be afraid of the things I would do to other people if I found out Mariah was cheating on me. How the fuck could I, in any type of good conscience, do that to Mariah? You know what I mean? Like, worst case scenario, I'm just going to tell her, like, hey, this isn't working. We're done. I found somebody else, or I want to see somebody else. Or, like, that's worst case scenario. Just be a fucking man about it and say, I want to fuck somebody else, or I want to be single, or I want to date, or I want to whatever. But the cheating and the lying is too much work. And if you couldn't imagine it be done to you, how the fuck can you do it to somebody else?
Friends. That day specifically, we were going there for another friend who was kind of going through some stuff, and we were supposed to meet him there. We went, hung out. We made a joke that we were wearing tennis shoes and leggings. It was just a chill night. It happened to be the landing spot for the Lineman rodeo.
I know, if you know me, I'm a social butterfly, especially me and my friends.
If you're gonna cheat, just leave.
We're gonna chit chat it back.
But it can stay there. And it doesn't have to ever go beyond that, and it never does. And then this magic moment happened. Felt like a magic moment.
Bro, there was a guy I worked with on the railroad. So when you're on the railroad, if you work the line, right, from going to town, right, the freight lines. Basically what'll happen is you'll pull a job, you'll get on a train in your hometown, and you'll travel to another town, and you'll be there for a day or two. You'll come back, you'll be here for a day or two. You'll go back to that other town for a day or two. It's basically it's probably not 50-50, but it's probably 60-40, home time versus away time. One of the guys that was an engineer for the railroad had a complete second family, a woman he was married to, a kid that was his, a kid that he had adopted, basically, like a stepkid. And the kid that was his was in high school. His real kids, or his home kids, were already graduated out of high school and out of college. His stepkid was going to college, and his biological kid was in high school. Had a whole fucking family, a whole fucking thing worked out. When he was in Irwin, Tennessee, he had one family that he lived with, and told the other family he was out of town. And when he was in Spartanburg, South Carolina, he just did the opposite. Crazy, dude. How the fuck can you even keep up with that? Also, he was a big holy roller, Bible thumper, deacon at the church, kind of better than you kind of person.
And it ended up being a very tragic moment. We're gonna answer some questions first. A couple questions was
even if he even if the first time he hooked up with that girl, he knocked her up, we're talking, I think they figured it up, it was like 17 years worth of him cheating on the railroad.
A lot of people were saying that he had a tattoo of an L. Some people were saying he had
I don't know that it's an L, but he does on his ring finger. He has this weird, like Victorian looking. It kind of looks like an L or maybe like a V, because the leg of the L, like the part that you would expect to, like the L comes down and goes this way. The part that you would expect to be horizontal is actually like curved up, almost like a V, like a half a V. It's weird, but he does have. The point being, like instead of a ring here, he has a big ass tattoo. It doesn't wrap around, but it's on his finger here, right? That's a sign that, you know, he's probably married. But he could also say, no, I just got, because he has tattoos all the way down his arm. He could just be like, I just got one on my finger too.
tattoo of a wedding band. Some people were saying he had on a wedding band. I'm going to insert the picture that has already been posted.
Here we go.
That was posted before he said, or before his wife said that he was married.
Oh, damn, that was quick.
That he was married.
All right, it's really hard to see, and it's cut off here, but I'll try to show you. Hold on. Let me zoom in. All right, see how he's got something only on that finger? He's got, I think that's a napkin between his fingers right there. That's black. But he's got something only on that finger. There's nothing on his pinky. I'll vouch for that. There's nothing on his, it's only on his ring finger, not his middle finger, not his pointer, not his pinky. Only on his ring finger he has this. But he also has 2 sleeves too. So he could tell somebody, oh no, that just means something between me and my parents, or I got that when, my dog died. He could say anything he wants to.
He does have a tattoo on the ring finger. The man was covered in tattoos. So is Cheyenne.
Yeah,
including her finger. It never occurred to be like, is that a wedding band? No, obviously it was not a wedding band. And her name, if the girl, assuming that all is accurate in the comments, her name is Laura, and it is not even in the shape of an L.
I worked with another guy at the railroad that everybody knew he did cocaine. Everybody. So much so, they called him Coken because his name was Kenneth. Kenneth. They called him Coken. And the train masters would bust and he had dirt on the train master or something, right? Because he was passing drug tests when he got randomly pulled. He wasn't being pulled on suspicion. He would get randomly pulled and he would pass it. But one day he left the railroad yard, okay? He had just driven a train for 8.5 hours. He had operated a train. He was an engineer. He was operating a train for 8.5 hours, right? We got the route's not that long. The route's like 4.5 hours, but we got stuck in traffic, had to wait for another train to pass and signals and get loaded and set out some cars. So 8.5 hours he worked, right? He was basically on overtime. He pulled out of the parking lot at the Irwin Yard, our home terminal. He pulled out, revved up his car, spun the back tires, cut a telephone pole in half, wrecked into it. The cops showed up and found 2 fucking 8 balls of cocaine on him and more in his glove box. And instantly, he got a fucking DUI, right? They said he was high as a fucking kite, dude. His pupils weren't responsive. He was on coke. Later found out that day he had a drug test and passed it at the railroad. But he didn't even have time to do drugs. He got out of the train, into his car, wrecked his car. Police showed up and arrested him. He was definitely high on the train, but nope, didn't do shit to him. He had dirt on somebody, dude, for sure.
In my mind, I just feel like if a man is married, I shouldn't have to ask if you're married. That should be open information.
That's her. Michaela West was the account that posted, but that's her right there.
Responsibility to be like, hey, just so you know, I'm married.
As far as it did, the whole evening should not have gotten as far as it did.
No.
He could have talked to us and then moved along, and it would have been fine. But that was not.
Right. It's not like you can't speak to the I mean, I don't. I'm like, ooh, get away. Disgusting fucking sleuths. I'm married. Go away. But he could have spoke to him, been like, hey, thanks, buy him a drink, whatever, and move on with his life, right? The dancing, the intimate touching, the kissing especially, obviously too far.
If
the case. I'm irrelevant in this whole situation when it comes to telling me anything because he was not trying to talk to me at all.
No.
It was completely Cheyenne.
Michaela owns the account. Cheyenne is the one that he was trying to hook up with.
No, his friend was trying to talk to her.
We'll get there. That's on the list too.
Okay.
Like Mike thing, everybody was saying like, oh, his friends were trying to get his attention and tell him he has a wife. No, this was happening before he ever came over to where we were standing.
This started as soon as they walked in the bar.
Because it was very loud and obnoxious in a funny way. Like it was like, Mike. And then everybody started doing it that was like with their group of like linemen. It was really funny. Like, because one of his
Sounds hilarious. I won't even let a woman, a female, anything with a vagine in the store ask me to help them get something off the top shelf. The last time it happened, I punched a woman in the face and ran away, then apologized to Mariah because her blood got on my knuckle. I had exchanged body fluids with her, and I couldn't handle it. I panicked.
friend said, if y'all start it, like, other people will do it. So we were, like, jokingly going, Mike. And they were all doing it, and he was eating it up. It was honestly really funny. In retrospect, none of this is funny, but in the moment, it was hilarious. He had a friend named Colton who came over, and we were, like, talking about golf. It was a whole situation. Yeah. But while we were talking about golf...
You should have... If you guys missed the anniversary stream where we went gambling, Mariah was ready to throw it all away for some big-tittied bitch at the ATM. Mariah gets to drinking a little bit, and suddenly she's ready to throw it all away for a set of tits at the ATM.
I got Colton's number because he told me when I took the pictures of Cheyenne and Mike, he was like, hey,
I'm glad he caught her. It kind of sucks.
Send me those pictures. He's not going to remember to ask you for them. And I was like, okay. So I
see the image. That's the most damning one, I think.
Hey,
he's fucking making out with her.
He's not going to remember to ask you for them. And I was like...
So the friend, it sounds like the friend was going to blackmail this motherfucker. How many guys you know that go out to drink with each other, right, and party with girls, and then they'll go up to the girl and say, oh, yeah, I wonder if you could send me that image of my boy kissing your friend for the Instagram, for the gram. For the clout, I'm gonna put it on my Snapchat. I think the guy was trying to get blackmail material. I've been out with friends a bunch. I've never once went up to a female they were hitting on or a female's friends they were hitting on and be like, hey, can I get that picture of my friend and your friend making out for later? Why the fuck? He's like, I need that picture because Mike is going to forget to ask you. He's so drunk, but I need it. And she sent him that picture. That is wild.
Okay, so
There it is. The kissing. That's what I don't understand. There is no way. If the woman I'm seeing is cheating on her husband or very serious boyfriend, right, fiance, whatever, come see me, what the fuck? Why the fuck in my head would I think that she's going to stay loyal to me afterwards? Whatever. That's the damning one. That's them basically making out.
Put his number in my phone to send him the picture. When we got to the next place that we went, because we didn't stay in one place the whole night, we got to the next place. He introduced me to one of his friends, whose name was Billy. And he was like, this is Billy, this is my friend, he's really cool.
Billy's married too, by the way.
Cool. I shake Billy's hand.
Everybody on the crew was married.
And I say, literally, strike me dead if I'm lying. I said, nice to meet you. Billy's wearing a wedding band. Did I not say that?
Those were her exact words.
Exact words. So, I don't know who Billy is, but he was like, I'm not married. How much you want to bet? How much you want to bet I'm not married? And I was like, I don't want to bet. I don't want to bet. I don't care. You're married. I see your wedding band. And he was like, do you want to know why I'm wearing it? No, I don't. And I said all of these things to him, and he was like, it's for the kids.
So this motherfucker lies and says, I'm not married. I wear it for the kids. What? My kids couldn't tell you. Me standing in the other room, just finished telling them something, talking to them for the last hour, and I walk out of the room. They couldn't tell you if I was wearing a wedding band or not. Wear it for the kids, bitch. What the fuck does that mean? Mommy and daddy don't live together anymore, and they haven't for several years, but daddy still wears his wedding band. So that means it's not our fault. What?
Okay, well, you're in Alabama, seemingly far away from home, without your children, in the middle of the night, talking to a girl, no shot you're wearing out for the kids. So, you coming at us sideways, thinking that we knew this man was married when he was introducing us to his friends who did have wedding bands on, that we weren't speaking to. Like, there was just more to this story.
Like, there were plenty of opportunities for him to let it be known.
Like, well, I just wanted you to be with somebody because I was hanging out with him and I was basically third wheeling him and Cheyenne all night. And he was like,
Great wing woman.
yeah, he was like, you're a great ring woman, you're a great friend. And I was like, I'm not leaving my friend with a stranger.
Yeah.
Like, you just met.
So, like, Colton put his number in your phone.
Sent him the pictures.
Right. That happened, and they all said that they were going to Whiskey Bottom. They were trying to get Mike to go with them. And I told Mike, I said, well, let me...
We don't do that.
No.
We don't go there.
We don't go there. We don't like that place. You like that place?
No hate to whiskey.
No hate. No hate. But it's just... midst of Colton putting his number in Michaela's phone and them saying that they're going to Whiskey Bottom, I told...
Whiskey Bottom Saloon seems to be just another bar in Alabama. Huntsville's where this all took place.
Mike, I was like, well, let me put my number in your phone so, like, you can text me. Like, text me and let me know when you get over there, and I'll let you know if we end up coming over there.
That was another question, too. Everybody was like, why didn't he get your number? He did.
I've only paid for sex on the road one time, and I was a big tipper. The guy was super grateful. I helped him fucking pay his light bill or something. I don't know.
My number in that man's phone. Finley he let us have his phone.
So when I posted the video was never posted with the intention of him getting...
He was a gentleman. Yes, he took it easy.
Found out. We didn't think there was anything to find out. This is a viral thing. If you've seen it, you know what I'm talking about.
I just liked him.
She
like,
liked
I had
him
a good
so
time.
much. It was truly... I'm not saying this to rub it in anybody.
They posted it like it was a meet cute. Like, hey, you know... They got to meet up, but, you know, didn't exchange numbers because they were both drinking, blah, 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 and thinking he was single and someone would help him and maybe they'd set up a second date and, it, you know, it would be on the internet, whatever. Haha, laugh. They never imagined that he would be married, but there are people that are coming after them as if they did something wrong.
It was the wildest thing. I called my other friend when I left and I was like, I think Cheyenne met her husband tonight. And again, I'm not saying that to be shady. It was just the wildest thing. They were like firing on all cylinders. Like things were just popping back and forth.
Fun. Like it was a genuinely good time.
So when I posted the video, I said, all we know about him is that his name is Mike.
10.5 million views when the wife commented.
We hung out with him for what, 4 or 5 hours, like out downtown. And no, I didn't include all that information. I wasn't trying to out this man. I didn't know there was anything to out. It was just supposed to be funny because Cheyenne thought, what if I put the wrong number in his phone and he's not going to call me? And like, oh my God, that was insane. Like, I'm never going to meet anybody else like that. So I was like, well, I have a pretty decent following. Shoot or shoot. Shoot or shoot. We could post this video. And she was like, oh yeah, let's do it. It's supposed to be funny. Unfortunately, he was married.
Plot twist, Mike did text me and let me know they made it home.
He texted her beforehand and they ended up talking, but I had already posted the video. He did see the video and thought it was cute.
Yes, and I did call him out for being married. I did say, so I have a question, what's the deal?
Because everybody on TikTok is saying you're married.
Yeah, I said, so, like, are you married? Like, what's going on? Like, I want to give you a chance to explain. He was going to call me.
And I said...
He offered to talk to me on the phone more than once.
And I just feel like that's shady, and I feel like that's was just going to be his way of like trying to manipulate the situation. She either needed to get it in text, or we needed to like both be there so we could like record the phone call, because I didn't think anybody would believe us. The video blew up before the phone call happened.
Yeah, I did.
I don't think he was allowed to call anyone.
He seen the TikTok.
He saw the TikTok.
I said, it's cute, right? And he did say not bad at all, and that was the last thing he said to me. Like, I have not talked to him since. Maybe next time you should lead with, hey, I'm married. If I don't laugh about it.
Well, they called him, like they said, help us get Nemo home. They should have called him Dory, right? Because he went out and forgot about where he lived and his wife and his kids. He forgot it all.
I'm gonna cry. Like, some of you have been really mean.
And there's really just no need for that, because at the end of the day,
if I knew, I would tell you I knew, and
we've made lots of dumb decisions.
yeah. Listen, I'm crazy, not a liar.
Crazy not a liar is literally our motto. Also, not that anyone cares about our nerves today, but I've been so anxious I pulled all my nails off.
I surprisingly still have all mine.
Another thing that's been said a lot is about leaving the video up. The video is viral. The video has been downloaded or sent or saved.
There's multiple videos been made with the video. So
Over 300,000 times, not including stitches or people reposting. Like, none of that has anything to do with that that I'm aware of.
I don't.
The video's not going anywhere.
I do fear it's too late to take the video down.
It's too late to take the video down.
And Laura would have asked.
And I'm glad you said that.
If Laura would have
did try
asked.
to send her a message and ask her. The video's been up for a little over a day.
Like
I
2
think
days. No, it's been about.
it went up Sunday. So yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
It's been up since Sunday.
Yeah, we win.
I don't know how fucked that up. God damn it. I wanted to hear the end of this. Because they were saying if the wife would have asked them to take it down, they could have.
Spot for everybody in Huntsville before the phone call happened.
Yeah, I did.
I don't think he was allowed to feel like that's shady, and I feel
To explain, he was going to call me.
and I said
He offered to talk to me on the phone more than once.
before the phone call happened.
Yeah, I did.
I don't think he was allowed to call anyone.
Maybe next time you should lead with, hey,
Okay.
if I knew, I would tell you I knew, and
We've made lots of dumb decisions.
yeah. Listen, I'm cool. I surprisingly still have all mine.
Another thing that's been said a lot is
Goes.
over 300,000 times, not including stitches. It's too late to take the video down.
And Laura would have asked.
And I'm glad you said that.
If Laura
I did
asked-
try to send her a message and ask her. The video's been up for a little over a day. I think
Days. No, it's been about.
it went up Sunday. So yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
It's been up since Sunday. It's currently Tuesday evening. And I did try to send her a message yesterday, and she never accepted my message request.
I feel like if I try to reach out, that's just adding more trauma.
Well, you did tell her to
And like I did comment on the video and say, like, I'm genuinely sorry. You are more than welcome to message me. Like, if you want to talk, if you have any questions, like, I don't have anything to hide. I'll be the first person to tell you what I did. So you might want to edit that out. I can't wait to watch the bloopers. You have to do a video of the bloopers.
spot for everybody in Huntsville, but we hang out.
Mike the lineman.
The only thing that man did wrong is
Michaela West and Cheyenne, who was the girl in the viral video searching for her soulmate Mike, both did a story time about what happened. Cheyenne said she gave Mike her number.
I told Mike, I was like, well, let me put my number in your phone so, like, you can text me. Like, text me and let me know when you get over there, and I'll let you know if we end up coming over there.
That was another question, too. Everybody was like, why didn't you get your number? He did.
I put my number in that man's phone. Mike did text me and let me know they made it home.
So why did they feel the need to post the video for everyone to help find Mike if she already gave her number to him and they had been texting?
Because Cheyenne thought, what if I put the wrong number in his phone and he's not going to call me? And like, oh my God, that was insane. Like, I'm never going to meet anybody else like that. So I was like, well, I have a pretty decent following. Shoot or shoot. Shoot or shoot. We could post this video. And she was like, oh yeah, let's do it.
So you decide to post the video because Cheyenne was worried she put the
It is weird that they posted the video even though she put her number in his phone.
wrong number in his phone? And because Michaela has a quote-unquote decent following? Okay.
The only thing that man did wrong is he did not say he was married. Maybe next time you should lead with, hey, I'm married.
Or maybe you should ask him if he's single before you give your number out to someone?
We've been entertaining.
So it's her responsibility to say, are you single?
And we jokingly said that we need a show. So,
You know,
Yeah, Jesus Christ, Jennifer. Gen X. Have some goddamn priorities. Mike the lineman, you're busy with rockets and SCOTUS.
live on this unfortunate situation.
Just when we thought we had heard it all about Mike the lineman, boy, were we wrong. Now, these original posters, Michaela West and her friend Cheyenne, who was looking for her soulmate that day, actually made a 7.5-minute video answering questions, but not before a bartender entered the chat. And that is this lady right here. She says that they actually spoke to these men. They didn't carry themselves as single men. She mentions a guy named Holden and them asking them where they should go to hang out. And this Holden guy asks her, where should they go to pick up girls? Now, Michaela mentions that Laura was saying that...
There it is. Whatever that is. Is that an L or an M or little... I don't know what the fuck that is. That's what he has on his finger.
Which is Mike's wife, that he had an L on his ring finger, and she says that the tattoo on his ring finger is not even the shape of an L. I guess it could be a unique L. Now, the bartender mentions a Holden. Michaela mentions a Colton, so maybe they have their names mixed up. Colton said she met this guy with Cheyenne, and she says that she went to a different bar with him. They didn't stay in the same place all night, and they ended up meeting some other friends of theirs, and the Colton guy introduced her to a guy named Billy. She says, oh, Billy's married. He had a wedding ring on. Billy says, oh, no, I'm not. Billy says, he's not married. How much you want to bet? I'm not married. It's for the kids. So, new players. I don't know if they're married. Cheyenne says that everybody coming for her, saying that she should have asked him if he was married or whatever. She says that hanging out with a guy, that she feels like that should be something that's brought up immediately. She shouldn't even have to ask that. Now, Michaela says that she got Colton's number because when she was taking the pictures of Cheyenne and Mike, that Colton said he will never remember to get those pictures from her. Can you send them to me? So, I don't know. Like I said, there's a 7.5-minute video over there on the original posters. Michaela.
That's so weird. Especially like those guys knew he was married. They're part of his crew. They work with him every day. They know he's married. Who the fuck, unless you're trying to blackmail somebody, who keeps a dossier of like, if anything, you'd want those pictures deleted, gone, numbers gone, right? Numbers blocked, something. But the guy's like, hey, he'll never remember to get those pictures, and I'm going to need a paper trail of everything that happened tonight. So if he's not going to ask you, I will. Go ahead and send me all those pictures of them making out at the bar, please and thank you. Like, that guy was doing something shady, dude. Is he like the designated guy that keeps all the dirt? Like, we can't just let our wives see this or our families or whatever, but I got this special folder on my phone where we can go relive all the fucking cheating experiences we've all had. I just keep it for when we want a spank session. Like, that's so stupid.
If you guys want to check it out. Just when we thought we had heard it all about Mike the lineman, boy, were we wrong. Now, these original posters, just when we thought we had heard it all about Mike the lineman, boy.
Mike the
There's the
lineman
bartender.
continues, and the original poster of the video actually is the one who posted these photos in her comment section. Obviously, this is Mike and her friend. I also posted a 7-minute video explaining their side of everything that happened. This video has now been deleted. The actual original video has been taken down as well. Just to sum up really quickly what they said, basically, they were not at the Lineman Rodeo. This was just a place that they, go on the weekends to hang out, have fun, whatever. They both say that they had no idea that he was married, said he had a lot of tattoos, she had a lot of tattoos, and she said basically, she shouldn't be the one to have to say, hey, are you married? She feels like the man, Mike, should have said something. She says it was
The way someone dances with you, hangs out with you, kisses you or whatever, we're operating under the assumption that they're single or whatever, right? We shouldn't be operating under the assumption that everybody's fucking married and you have to ask them if they're single. That's fucking dumb, right? We're operating under the assumption that everybody's single and whoever's married or in a serious relationship or engaged or whatever should be the one that stands up and says, no, I can't do that. I'm engaged, right? This can't happen. I don't want to take it any further, something. But the fact that people expect them to assume that every person they meet at a bar is happily married, right? And they need to go in thinking that everybody here is fucking married, and that if I want to share a drink or a dance or a kiss with somebody, I've got to make sure they're single. I got to go through their Facebook. I've got to see their tax forms. How do they file, right? They file head of households, married filing joint. I need to know.
Like the most amazing time. They had so much fun together. She did say she was sorry to Laura. Oh, and then Michaela also talks about one of Mike's friends actually approaching her, and she saw that he was wearing a wedding ring, and she's like, whoa, you're married. And he was trying to say like, no, I'm not married. I just wear it for the kids, that kind of thing. And she says at that point, she just, stopped talking to him because obviously he had a ring on. So she says, that just proves the type of person that she is, and they wouldn't do this if they had known Mike was married. And then in the comment section, someone had said the bartender made a video and said she told you guys they were married, and she says, yeah, tag us because no one knew that man was married. He's not from Alabama. And the bartender did make a video. I will touch base on that in a separate video just because this one's getting a little long. But yeah, the videos are now taken down. That's just a quick little recap for you guys. Mike the Lineman saga continues, and the poster.
We did not know that he was married.
We were just out having a silly Saturday.
Just when we thought we had heard it all about Mike the lineman,
Someone said bartender told them and they didn't care.
boy, were we wrong.
Lineman Mike.
How would the bartender know? I guess you could have overheard or something, but It seems like if anything, the bartender would have been like, those linemen guy, they're always married, you know, kind of deal.
His wife has posted an updated comment this morning, and she's also updated her profile picture. If you don't know what I'm talking about, just a quick little recap. So this girl's friend posted this video saying, my friend found her soulmate last night in Huntsville, Alabama after the Lineman rodeo, and we know nothing about him except his name is Mike, and his friends kept calling.
I was trying to get to the bartender video.
The fact that the video is still up.
Oh my God, this is a story too. Have you guys seen this shit? This story is about a bridesmaid, and it is fucking wild, dude. A maid of honor, I'm sorry. Maid of honor. Husbands work together. Bride and wife are really good friends. Bride and maid of honor are really good friends. Both their husbands work at the same company. One's the boss and one's like a salesman. Crazy. I'm trying to find the bartender video. This one.
Hi. Okay. So my name is Erica. I was at the bar when Mike, the lineman, was doing what he was doing, meeting his soulmate or whatever. So, a little context, a little backstory. I'm a bartender downtown. So I also served Mike and his group of friends earlier in the night around like 7:30 something or other like that. Me and my fellow bartender, once we closed our bar.
It's hard for me to trust anybody else once the thing went viral. Like when you post it and you don't know it's going viral, it seems like maybe you're going to be more honest or outright lie. But once he goes viral, everybody's trying to come out and be like, I worked with Mike back in 93. I knew he was married. He cheated on his wife then. He fucked me twice.
We ended up going out for a nightcap and ran into that group again. All the while, like, mind you, while they were at our bar, some of them like had women with them already, like their wives or girlfriends already with them. And then there was a few of them who, we could tell that they carried themselves the way a husband would, if you will. Like they weren't overly flirty with, me or my coworker or anything like that. As they have a few drinks at our bar, and when they're getting ready to go and hop around, they ask us where they should go. We give them a couple of places. Specifically, a guy named Holden asked for places to go pick up girls, and he said, and I was like, well, didn't you say like earlier that you had were married or like had a girlfriend or something? Like I remember, like, bartender ears, I can hear what you're talking about. And he was like, no, that's them, they have girlfriends, and at this point in time I had barely talked to Mike. I had not really conversated with him other than just the transaction of getting drinks. And then, so when fast forward, we're at JSP, Mike does come up to our table, definitely very flirty. He said, I'll never forget, he said he really liked our style, me and my friends. He really liked our style, and he called us hot and spooky piercings. And it's because we all have nose rings. I don't know. And so I saw all that stuff going down and saw how they were now approaching us. Since it was later in the night, I'm sure they'd had a lot more to drink by then. And I tried to warn those girls. Okay, I tried to warn them. I told them, I said we served them earlier. They were at our bar. You probably shouldn't mess with any of them. They're probably all married. They are in town for the Lineman rodeo. I don't know what they've told you so far, but here's what I know, just trying to help you out, girl, because I don't know if you want to open that can of worms. So with that being said, I just wanted to just say that I feel like maybe that whole video is not necessarily a missed soulmate thing. It was made to expose Mike because I exposed Mike at the bar.
Good.
So
I don't care.
That's just
I don't care if that is what it is about. Fuck him.
Also,
should be out here cheating on his wife, the mother of his kids.
We still don't know. We still don't have a clear answer on that. So we would like to know, I think. And then to Laura, I am so sorry, honey. Nobody deserves that. That is probably one of the most horrible things that somebody can do to somebody. But I will say this, that no weapon formed against you shall prosper. So I hope that you kick that man to the curb and take all his money. So anyway, that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Goodbye. Thank you for watching. Hi. Okay. So my name is Erica.
There's the bartender story.
At the bar when Mike, the lineman.
Just when we thought we had heard it all about Mike the lineman, boy,
Sorry, I'm putting shit back up.
Now, these original posters, Michaela West and her friend Cheyenne, who was looking for her
the lineman. Now, do you guys want to hear the? Do you guys want to hear the fucking the maid of honor story? Or no, you want to go into political shit, or no? You tell me. Conversated. Fuck real news, okay? So, there was a post going around that literally said, I had to find the other post, hold on. There's this woman that made a post that said, it's this one right here. She made a post saying, story time, I had to get rid of my own maid of honor. And trying to drum up like this maid of honor husband had done something wrong and cheated on him. And it was this girl made a story time video. I don't see it right now. She might have taken the original video down. But basically it was like, hey, this is why I had to get rid of my maid of honor right before my wedding. Like literally after the shower, but before the wedding date. Let's go into this story. You ready?
Okay, it has come to my attention that I am being talked about, posted about, videos created about, and now mentioned by name, literally tagged to my page.
I'm sorry, matron of honor, because she's married, right?
By another creator on here, and this is something that I was not going to discuss. I was not going to bring up because I figured you can only argue with silence for so long. Like this one-sided issue, these one-sided stories that most of which are not true, would have to end at some point, because how do you continue to argue with no response? But obviously at this point, it's not going to stop. And so instead of taking the high road, the silent road, and keeping my mouth shut, I'm curious to see who wants a sword time. And if we want to get into it, let's get into it. Let me know. Okay,
right.
It has come to my attention.
This is a filler post, basically, because they were making videos about her, and people had kind of figured out it was her, saying, hey, do you guys want that story or not? Somebody's making videos about me. I might as well say something.
Quick little PSA. If you're here on my page because you are coming from another creator who has been talking about me and you're viewing my stuff, I want to call this behavior out for what it is. This behavior is mean. Sending a group of people, antagonizing a group of people, telling them, oh, go look for her, I guarantee you can find her. Oh, her name starts with a J. That's mean. It's mean girl behavior, and I don't know if she just genuinely didn't think I would respond or what the case was. But that kind of behavior is not going to fly here. So if you're here on my page for this whole saga, this drama, whatever, I really want no part of it. I really don't. I am going to share my side of the story. I am going to voice my piece at this point, but I'm a mom. I have 3 kids. That is my priority. I am a stepmom. I have 2 bonus babies. That is my priority. I have a husband. I'm a wife. That is my priority. This is not my priority. This is not the most interesting thing about me. This type of mean, bullying, mean girl behavior, it's not going to be tolerated on my page. So if that's what you're here for, and you're here to judge and to continue to spread that type of hate and to continue to bounce back and forth and, oh my God, and she said this, I don't need it. I don't want it. I don't want you here. If you're here and you genuinely are open to like, hey, yeah, there are 2 sides, let's listen, or, oh, you know, this seems a little off, or whatever the case may be, or maybe it's just you want to hear me out. I don't know. You're welcome to stay. But I wanted to make it quick and clear right from the beginning that any type of hate, this continued bullying and this continued behavior that's being exuded and setting his example for you guys right now from this other creator, it's not gonna fly here. It's not.
Exuded.
So, drop the bullying at the door and let's get into it.
All right, let's get into the story. Here we go. Part 1.
Storytime part 1 of how I got kicked out of who I thought was my best friend's wedding as her maid of honor. We met when her husband got hired to work for my husband's company. We were hosting like this little Christmas party. I think it was Christmas. This little Christmas party. And they came and her and I clicked right away.
By the way, knew each other less than a year, maid of honor. That's a red flag to me. Like, you don't have like a friend that you've had for 5+ years, 10+ years, you went to high school with, something. You're picking somebody that you knew less than a year to be your maid of honor. Red flag right off the bat.
Around the same age. Our husbands are around the same age. Well, her fiance is around the same age. There's an age gap.
You should be the clavicular, and just get really fucking fat and disgusting. But get laid all the time. Be like greasy, fat, disgusting, but just banging chicks, dude.
For both of us, so that's
like
fun and funny. It was nice to have someone who could relate to the same type of things. Our husbands did the same type of work. Whatever. It was just nice to have someone close in age, close by, close to our lives because they worked for us. And that's how we met. So we did become pretty close. I was pretty shocked when she asked me to be her maid of honor because we didn't or hadn't known each other very long at that point. But I was excited. I was honored. It was a huge deal and it sounded like so much fun to me. So I spent a lot of time, money, effort, energy, thought, love into planning her wedding with her, into planning her bachelorette trip with her, into paying for things for it, into doing things for it. Just all the things, coordinating with her mom, with her family, all the things. And I honestly loved it. I'm not going to sit here and say that I didn't. So I really had a lot of fun with that part of things. I really enjoyed getting to do that. That's something that I'll always look back on and be like, that was fun. I'm glad I got that experience. So this is kind of more so in response to if you've already seen her video. If you haven't seen her video, she posted a video after all this.
Let's find it actually. I think it's this one, right?
By apologizing on behalf of my husband and the derogatory slang he used when describing meth. It was inappropriate. Obviously, no one, when you text someone, no one thinks that they're going to get blasted on TikTok. That's something that I haven't done. Throughout this whole thing, I've just kind of said my piece in my story and haven't posted receipts, but if that's what you guys want, I guess I will post them. So yeah, I do apologize on behalf of that. It was inappropriate and not something that I condone or tolerate. So let's get into it. I've watched her. I tried not to watch all of it. You guys know I was getting married this weekend. I tried to soak in every moment of that and really just kind of put this on the back burner. That's why I haven't responded, I guess.
By the way, one of the brides, so we have bride and we have maid of honor. One of the bride's biggest complaints, and the reason she kicks her out at the end, we'll see in text messages, is because she heard from her other bridesmaids that she was getting a Louis Vuitton bag, glass, perfume, and Louis Vuitton bracelets, okay? This woman decides to not give her the bracelets. I think that's the only reason she invited her to the shower was the bracelet. I think it's the only reason she invited her to the shower. Because their husbands were fighting. This woman, the matron of honor, says, look, I don't know that I'm going to come to the shower. And here's why. Like, this is your day. It's supposed to be stress-free. I know your husband's very mad at my husband. They're arguing in text messages, blah, blah, blah. I don't want to add to the stress, right? Maybe I shouldn't. And she's like, I can't believe that you wouldn't come, blah, blah, blah. You're supposed to be here, whatever. So matron of honor says, well, let's not, I don't want me and you to fight. We're still friends, right? We're still friends. I'll let you know if I'm going to be there. And the next day she says, yes, I'm coming. in the text messages where she basically tells her not to come to the wedding, she says, and I can't believe that you told people you got me this bracelet and then you didn't give me the bracelet. That's truly horrible behavior.
Happened, doggy.
It wasn't like an argument. I guess I'm not explaining it right. It was a dispute over pay in text message.
On me. Pretty much saying like, oh, I kicked her out, and
I argue over text because I exclusively text. I do not do phone calls. I fucking hate your voice on my phone.
If you haven't seen her video, she posted a video after all this happened, dogging on me. Pretty much saying like, oh, I kicked her out and here's what she did. So in her videos, she does say that her husband, worked for us. Very true. She did also say that he was really high up in the company. Not true. He was a sales manager, project manager. Sales manager? I'm going to be totally honest. I don't even actually know what his official title was. I know that he worked with getting jobs done. So I think product management. I really don't know. I'm sorry. But he was not high up in this company. He had a direct supervisor. He had CFOs ahead of him, CEOs ahead of him, my husband. He was not high up in this company. He really wasn't. Why she felt the need to add that, I don't know. She also stated that he had access to all of our personal and business info and banking, that they saw everything we were spending, what was coming in, what was coming out, what we personally were spending. That's not true. No one, not a single soul within our company has access to that. Literally not a single soul. There's not a single role.
Why would they?
That has access.
Why would anybody at the company have access to the owner's personal finances? That's so dumb.
So that we have a third-party tax person who's been hired. We have there's no one in the company that sees that. So why she felt the need to say that, I don't know. I think she wanted it to sound like taboo, and I don't know why she said that. That's absolutely positively not true. If he was ever shown a singular bank statement or something, it was done intentionally. There was reason behind it. I don't know. So that's definitely not true. No one saw or knew what we were spending on money. She tried to make it sound like a lot of shady things were going on, and that's just not true. The shadiest thing going on was actually on her husband's part. So he did quit. That is absolutely true. He did quit the day his direct manager was fired. So this other gentleman was fired that Thursday morning. And by Thursday, I think 6 p.m., her fiance had called my husband and was like, hey dude, I was really close with him. Management's tough. I don't want to have to get used to a new manager. This is my time to exit too. Okay. That original phone call went great. We totally understand.
Hey, oh my God, I just heard about blank. Same. Freaking crazy, but happy for him. Yeah, I don't even know. Not sure what he's going to do. That's okay. He'll figure it out. It's sad, but exciting. Hopefully it doesn't affect our relationship. That would make me sad. No, why would it? I don't know. I'm just making sure it doesn't. No, never. So this is her texting the bride saying, hey, it's crazy. Your husband quit, but, we're still friends, right?
Hurt feelings. Me and this friend continued on completely fine. We talked about what's he gonna do next. Is he excited? I'm excited for you. It was completely fine. Fast forward, I think it was 2 weeks to that following pay period. He had to come in to return his stuff in person and pick up a check as his last check instead of direct deposit. And it just so happened to be the Friday, and her bridal shower was that Saturday. That Friday morning, I was oblivious. I had no idea anything was going on. I texted her in the morning, oh my God, tomorrow's bridal shower day. Are you so excited? Crickets. I text her again in the afternoon, hey, so-and-so is sick. The school just called me. I have to go pick him up. They're sending him home. I don't think we're going to be able to come to your after party tomorrow after the bridal shower. Crickets. Text her a third time, I want to say around 6 p.m. Don't quote me on that time, but my texts were pretty spaced out is the point. I had been texting her all day with no response. So I text her again.
So 3 text messages really with no response. Then it says, sorry, I've been busy trying to set everything up. I just left my mom's. I think we're good. All we have to do is the tables. Everything else is pretty much done. She was asking if she could help at all, right, to set up for the shower.
Hey, do you need me to come early to help set up tomorrow? What's the plan? Crickets. So she finally responds later in the evening. And it's hey, no, we got it all set up tonight. All that's left is tables.
Yes. So one guy is a sales manager with a manager above him, and then, the CEOs. Her husband, the one we're watching, her husband's the CEO, the owner of the company.
Okay. So I go and I look at everyone's socials, and pretty much every other single bridesmaid is there. They were all there setting up together, and I wasn't invited.
So every bridesmaid was there setting up. And when she asked, you know, can I help? They're like, no, we got it. Don't worry about it. Blah, blah, blah. She was not invited, basically.
And she ignored me all day. Little in the fact that she ignored me multiple other times during the week of me asking what the plan was, when we were setting up, if she needed help. I had already been ignored about this multiple times. Clearly, it was intentional. I was intentionally not invited to help set up. I was intentionally not told about the plans. I'm now being intentionally told not to come early tomorrow. And my feelings are hurt. Her husband now at this point is texting my husband, going off, being absolutely cruel, saying awful, horrible things, stating that he was underpaid, which is not at all true. Trying to argue with him. There was some shady stuff going on with him and his direct manager, and so...
We're going to get more explanation about why the husbands were mad at each other. Basically, we had... Hold on. I'm gonna lay this out for you, okay? Let me open up. We're gonna learn, boys. It's a learning day. It's better than talking about shitting her on, huh? All right. So we have the matron. Oh shit! That looks like shit, doesn't it? Matron of honor plus husband. Is the CEO of the company. Okay? Then we have bride plus husband is in sales plus commission. Oh, that's probably got two S's, right? Commission. Okay, so he makes a salary plus commission. Okay. The person in between is a direct manager is between these two, right? So the CEO doesn't tell this guy what to do. He doesn't tell the CEO what he's doing. This direct manager was lying about sales. Okay? The direct manager was lying about sales that were being made to increase his pay for months. Sales that never had a deposit, never had financing secured, never were carried out, never went through, never had a work order completed on them. They were still putting them in as if they were valid sales to increase the money that he was making. Okay? That in turn gave this guy more money, right? Because he's making a percentage commission. Okay? When this guy, the direct manager, gets fired, they seize all his commission because he was lying about sales. And the guy's even like, well, is that going to cover it all? Or you guys need to claw back this final paycheck? And they're like, no. We'll just call it even. Here's your final paycheck, but you're not getting a commission check. The bride's husband, they still pay him his full commission. On sales that were lies. The sales that they went through the last month, they still paid him his full commission. Thinking that, well, maybe he didn't know. Maybe the direct manager was doing this. He had no idea. So he should still get paid for the sales that were actually made. Okay? The bride's husband gets upset because he thinks He's trying to use this lying direct manager's number to figure out what his commission bonus should be, his monthly commission bonus. But CEO sends over the records. Oh. And says, nope, these are the sales for last month. Here is your percentage commission, right? And he's still arguing with them. We're going to get more in detail about this. But the guy in the middle was the guy who actually did something wrong, right? He was lying about sales that never went through, so they could everybody in his department collected commissions off that.
I don't know if the direct manager is the reason he was confused on what the pay was. I really, truly don't know. All I know is he was paid correctly. He was saying some truly horrible, awful things to my husband. My husband kept his composure really well and kind of just like, hey, buddy, what's going on? Like, talk to me. And he just continued to go off. It was really, really rough. And so I reached out to her and I sent her a really nice text, as nice as you possibly could in this situation. And I was like, hey, I'm really uncomfortable. I feel like you don't want me there. That's the vibe I'm already getting. I'm the only one who wasn't invited tonight. All this is going on. I'm not going to come tomorrow. I love you. I care about you. I hope you have the best day. And I'm just going to step back from this day and give everything a minute to kind of calm down. It was pretty much the gist of what my text said. And she...
Let me read it. Hey, blank. I want to be honest with you. After the messages blank sent to my husband tonight, things feel really uncomfortable for us right now. Because of that, I don't think it's appropriate for me to attend your shower tomorrow, especially because blank will be there, your husband. I'm really sorry to do this, close to everything, but based on the fact that everyone was invited to help set up tonight but me, I'm thinking you are already on the same page. I care about you. I hope your day is amazing. I just need to step back from the situation. The response was, you're joking, right? And then they have a phone call. Then she says, I will be there the next morning.
Did a little while later, and all she said was, are you joking? Or you're joking, right? I kind of was just frozen and was like, I'm not joking. Like, you're obviously intentionally discluding me. You're making me uncomfortable. Like, no, I'm not joking. And so I kind of just sat there and waited. And then...
By the way, we're on this woman's side. Wait till you hear how she got treated. And wait till you hear the language that the other woman's husband used.
She called me. And I answered. Storytime part 1 of how I got kicked out of who I thought was...
All right, so are you joking? And then she called, right? So here's the phone call.
Part 2 of how I got kicked out of who I thought was my best friend's wedding as her maid of honor. So let's just pick up right where we left off. I had sent her this text trying to be as nice as I possibly could in that circumstance. My feelings were very hurt. I felt very left out. I felt like I was being intentionally pushed away. And so I was already hurt at this point. She calls me and I very reluctantly answer this call. I was scared. I was nervous. It just felt like a lot. So I answer this phone call and she is angry. She's kind of just going off and ranting at first, and I understood. So I let her. I kind of just listened. And then it got to a point in the conversation that she was throwing in a lot of digs at me, digs at my husband, digs at our company.
I don't know why people don't know this. Maybe no one's telling them. The best thing you can say to a woman that's upset is calm the fuck down. It's not that serious. Immediately, that does something to their brain. I think it's hardwired in. It deactivates a portion of their brain, and they're like, yeah, you're right. You know, there are bigger issues in the world, right? What about world hunger? What about, no peace in the Middle East? Immediately, they're like, hell yeah. So always remember that, okay? Another quick tip, learn this in prison. If a woman comes at you with a knife, pull out a jar of mayonnaise. Natural instincts will take over. A loaf of bread will appear, and she will start making a sandwich. We're not getting stabbed today, okay? If you just pull out a jar of mayonnaise, open the top, because she's not going to be able to, it's going to be too tight. Open the top, and instead of a stabbing motion, you'll get a quick whip out of there. Bread will appear, back and forth, meat, cheese, other bread, sandwich, ready to go. Honestly, if you're in need of a really quick lunch, bait a woman into stabbing you, then do the mayonnaise trick, right? They don't even know it happened. It's like they black out. It's like they black the fuck out. Next thing you know, you've got a delicious sandwich. They're taking a nap.
Saying some really hurtful things that I didn't want to tolerate and didn't want to hear. So I kind of shut it down and was just like, hey, like if we're going to agree to leave the boys' stuff and their issues to them, then let's do it. Let's stop talking about it. I did ask her multiple times without being dramatic, without overestimating. I want to say I asked her seriously at least 5 times. If you want me there tomorrow, let me know. I will come. I will be there for you. She would not answer if she wanted me there. She would not give me a yes or no. She kept saying things like, you're a big girl, make your own choices, do what you want. You should know what I want. She would not answer, which should have been my first sign at how this was going to go, honestly. And it wasn't. I just thought she was hurt, which I understood. So I apologized over and over again.
Holding the dirty plate, yes. Natural instincts are hard to override, right? Like it's like pair bonding and you know, the looks maxing community's got it figured out. Also, little known tip, got this one from a lawyer. He's licensed to practice law in at least one state, I believe, maybe. It depends. It depends on what jurisdiction, but it's not rape if you yell surprise first. Then it's just surprise sex.
I'm really sorry, I wasn't trying to hurt you. She did make comments like, oh, you're doing this intentionally to hurt me. That wasn't the case. I did tell her, like, I'm so sorry, I didn't want to hurt you. Over and over again. So this conversation kind of went in circles. It finally ended with, okay, let's reconvene tomorrow. Sleep on it. Let's see how I feel.
All right, so they both went their separate ways. Let's leave my husband and your husband out of this. They can handle their own business. We're still friends. We'll sleep on it, and then I'll let you know in the morning.
In the morning, blah, blah, blah. So in the morning, I woke up. I was still very conflicted. I did ultimately decide to go. I did let her know, kind of last minute, I guess. It was like,
I'll be there. Hey, can I grab you a coffee tomorrow?
9 a.m. The shower was at 11. So I guess that could be considered last minute, but up until 10 p.m.
I'm sorry. It says, hey, can you grab coffee tomorrow? Like a meetup coffee.
Before she had fully expected me to be there. Like there was never a doubt that I would be. So it's not like she had to all of a sudden plan last minute, like, oh, now she is coming. I should have been there regardless. So I did tell her I was going to come. I didn't get a response, which made me feel very uneasy and kind of just anxious even just going there. I was like, okay, like I really didn't feel wanted. I didn't feel like I was wanted there, and I was very nervous, but I didn't not want to show up for her.
Listen how she was treated, okay? So, like, she was basically snubbed. Like, everybody knew that something had went on. She was treated like a second-class citizen. They intentionally pulled her place card for her seats at the shower. She didn't have a place to sit. They pulled her place card and didn't put one down. Everybody else had a seat. She's the maid of honor, or matron of honor. She doesn't have a seat at the reception thing.
Okay. So I did go. I'm going to have to do a part 3 just on what actually happened at the shower and the way I was treated. I don't want to cry. It was rough. It was a little bit rough. It was a little bit embarrassing and humiliating. So we'll make a part 3 on just that in itself. But I do want to address the gift and the gift that I had planned on giving her at the shower that I did not give her, which is pretty much what her entire part 2 is about. I had purchased a 4 glass set, martini glass set that was gold rimmed, super cute, super her style. I knew she would love them. I purchased her a Louis Vuitton miniature perfume set that had, I think, 5 or 6 different perfumes in it. I have one. I got one for our other friend for her bridal shower. I knew she would love it. I also went just that weekend, the weekend prior to her shower, and picked out a Louis Vuitton bracelet. I've got one. I got one for our other friend for her bridal shower. I thought it would be cute. I thought it would like keep this tradition going of this gift that I had got all the girls now in our friend group. Well, one previous, and now this would have been like another one. So I wanted to kind of keep this tradition going. I thought it would be cute. I thought it'd be sweet. I spent a lot of time picking it out. I looked at,
and it's an expensive bracelet.
My sweet rep who I know there was so helpful. I texted her right before and was like, hey, I'm on the way. Like, can you help me? I did find the perfect bracelet that I really thought she would love, and I bought it. I was excited, and I had been talking to one of the bridesmaids before this. Only one. I really wasn't close with the rest.
It says Is this enough for blank bridal shower gift? Or what else do I get her? Girl, yes, that's fucking cute as fuck. If you want to get together a little basket, you can go with it or something. And she ends up, again, getting her glasses and the perfume as well. But hold on, I'll zoom in on this bracelet. I want to say that it was like a $1,500 bracelet. Hell, it might have even been more than that. I don't know why that number's popping in my head, but there you go. Louis Vuitton bracelet. I think this is what she's upset about, and I think this is why she demanded she come to the shower, but then kind of treated her like shit when she was there.
I didn't really talk to any of the other girls, honestly. Yeah, none of the other girls ever knew about this bracelet that are in the wedding party like she claimed. I had talked to one bridesmaid about, I plan on getting her this. What else should I get her? What do you think? I never actually even showed this girl the bracelet. She never saw it. She never saw it when I picked out. No one knew what it was. I did send photos of the gifts wrapped, which I'll put on here so you can see. I was really proud of how cute they looked. Well, anyways, the morning of, I was getting ready and it just was sitting so heavy on me that all these comments she was making about, you can't afford it, you guys are broke, you this, you that, like a lot of the comments they were making that were really hurtful were geared towards us being a young company just starting out. Finances can be hard, and as
I will tell you the level of petty that I'm excited for this woman right here. I think her name is Jazz. Is that her name? Anyways, it doesn't matter. She did this story time on the wedding weekend, right? Because everything we're talking about right now is a shower. That wedding is the same day she released this story time.
the owners were the first ones to take the hit, and she kind of was making fun of that, and a lot of her comments and digs were at that. And so it felt really wrong, and it being a young company just starting out, finances can be hard. And as
her and her husband were talking shit about the company, saying that they always fucked people over, that's why the company was failing, that's, you guys can't afford this, I've seen your finances, I know how fucked up it is. Her husband's texting this the bride's husband, and the bride's husband's saying all this fucked up shit while she's out here buying thousands of dollars worth of gifts for her bridal shower.
the owners were the first ones to take the hit, and she kind of was making fun of that, and a lot of her comments and digs were at that. And so it felt really wrong, and it felt really untrue to myself to go and give her this now $1,500 combined gift.
Okay, $1,500 total for the gift.
It didn't feel good to me anymore. So I took the Louis Vuitton bracelet off. I did return it. I returned it 2 days after the shower. I did not keep it. It wasn't for me. I picked it out for her. I did return it. I gave her the martini glass set, I gave her the Louis Vuitton perfume, and I rewrapped and added our favorite lip mask from one of our favorite brands. It's something all of us girls use, that I knew she would just like and appreciate, because I wanted it to still have the same tiered look, and I'll put a picture of it fully done too. And that was how I brought it, and that was how she got it. I did not think that she would ever even know there was a bracelet. I was not doing that to be mean. I was not doing that to be vindictive.
She did. She knew.
Quite expensive gift. This, like, I don't want to say extravagant, but like this thoughtful gift that I put a lot of time into, even just wrapping and making pretty.
It was still like over $500, I want to say.
I put a lot of thought into this.
Without the bracelet.
I didn't think she would ever think anything.
Listen to this. I've stood by you in times when I shouldn't have. I defended you when I shouldn't have. I kept my mouth shut about things when I shouldn't have. Thank you for coming yesterday, but the awkward gift-giving situation where you showed my friends that you were giving me and then didn't actually give it to me was a strange behavior. This has nothing to do with the actual present. It's the principle. I don't understand why you would show everyone what you were giving me and then keep it for yourself.
Of it, I didn't think that she would ever.
She asked one person, hey, would this be a good gift?
Say anything about it. She did. I did not tell all the other girls. I had told one girl who I had grown quite close to. She never actually even saw what bracelet it was. No one did. No one knew what the actual bracelet was. She had only ever seen like ideas and knew that that was what I was planning on doing because I was excited. So I just wanted to clarify on that.
If the other girl wanted to be taken as like serious in the winter and the high road, she should have never mentioned this bracelet.
And we'll have to add a part 3 onto this, which I know sounds so insane.
It is. They seem like they're doing pretty well, right? So the higher your class and the people you hang out with, the higher end, I guess you're, like my family would never do this, right? If you're getting a wedding gift, it's probably like something for your house or maybe a mixer, a blender, or, fucking pan set or something. Not thousands of dollars, no way.
But
if you're if that's your normal level of gift giving is thousands of dollars, like if you're normally giving away cars to people and you're like, oh yeah, I can do a $1,500 bracelet or whatever.
So much that happened at the shower and her messages following and her video since that I want to address, and I know a lot of people have questions about. So stay tuned and hopefully
all right, let's see how she was treated.
But like I said,
at the shower.
Part 3 of how I got kicked out of who I thought was my best friend's wedding as her maid of honor. So I decided to go to the bridal shower. I woke up that morning, kind of started slowly like puttering around, made the decision like, no, I need to go. I need to support her. So I sent her a text letting her know, never got a response. It instantly made me feel very nervous, very uneasy. She's always on her phone. She does a lot of content creation. So I knew she saw it, and the no response made me really nervous. So I decided to go anyways. I got her gifts, I got myself together, and I went. The vibes were off instantly with the other girls. I clearly knew that they had all already heard about my text the night before, had heard about our phone call. Some of these girls that I felt like I got pretty close to and like had been building a good relationship with were avoiding me, not really like interacting with me. I spent majority of my time talking to other people that I didn't know, that I'd never met, other attendees of this bridal shower. And so
by the way, the other girl had to turn all of her comments off.
I didn't talk to any of the girls. I think there was a few like hays and highs, but like the vibes were very clearly off. I clearly could tell everyone knew what was going on, all the girls. So I spent most of my time talking to randoms. It was beautiful. It was beautifully set up. There were table settings with everyone's name, and everyone was kind of already getting seated in their spots. People were already starting to eat. So I started looking for my name at the table and couldn't find it. And so I see in the center of the tables, all the girls, all the bridesmaids, all the really close friends are all seated together directly in the center of these tables. I look, my name is not there. So I asked the bride, like, hey, do you know where my spot is? Like, oh, I tried to make a joke, but I was like, I don't have my glasses on, I can't see very well. Like, do you know where my spot is? And she was like, somewhere down there, I think. And that was the only response I got, not like, oh, let me help you, nothing. So, and if you remember her text, she said they were setting tables up that morning. So they had just set these out. Like, I feel like you would know where your maid of honor was. She didn't help me. So I went to the side of the table, she said, and I looked around. It 100% was not there. My name was not on that side of the table. So finally, I'm so sorry. My kids were just banging on my wall and I'm sure you heard it. So I look at that side of the table, my name is not there. And I know I'm not in the middle with all the girls. So finally, one of the other bridesmaids who had been being pretty mean as well at this point, looked at me and was like, I think you're down there. So it was where all the family was seated, all of the bride's family. I've met them all a few times. Like, I'm comfortable enough with them that like, I was like, oh, okay. So I went and looked and I cannot find my name. It's not there. I cannot find my spot. And so I'm confused and I'm like, okay, like now I'm embarrassed. I'm walking around in circles around these tables. I don't have a spot. All the girls are already sitting and eating and now watching me. Like, I'm really starting to kind of panic and I'm like, oh my God, like there's no way this is happening. I don't know. So I am 95% positive that my name was not on that table. I want to believe that maybe I was seated down with the family and someone moved it. It ended up on the floor. I don't know. I want to believe.
I think it was done intentionally just to embarrass her. Like, it'd be funny. She doesn't even have a spot.
Girls would not have intentionally done that to me, but I don't know. What I do know is that my name was not on that table. And so I was humiliated. I didn't know what to do. I kind of was just like frozen for a second, tried to play it off. And thankfully another girl had decided not to come last minute. I'm not sure what the reasoning was. And so I went over and took her name card and moved in and was like, oh, it's a good thing she's not here. Like, I'll sit in her spot. And I sat with all the girls in the middle of the table, where I think I should have been anyways. I don't know why I would have been the only one on my own. So it is what it is. I sat, ate food, it was fine, whatever. I helped do gifts. I wanted to do what I was supposed to be doing as a maid of honor. I tried to help out as much as I could. I tried to like clean up the wrapping paper while she was opening gifts, and I was trying to be helpful, and I was trying to distract myself from how uncomfortable I felt and how embarrassed I felt, that no one else was speaking to me, that none of the bridesmaids were interacting with me. I tried to just, okay, let's do what I was here to do. So I did that, and when I left, I got in the car and instantly called my husband and was just like, oh my God, I can't believe that just happened. And the first thing he said to me was like, you should have left. And I was like, I don't know. In that moment, I kind of was just in survival mode. Like, I was so humiliated that it was like, it was a lot. And so I did what I thought was best. I did stay through the whole shower. I was one of the first girls to leave. Ironically, I did win the game of who knows the bride best, which kind of almost felt like a slap in the face at that point, but it is what it is. And it definitely feels like one now. So it is what it is. I went home. I knew I was hurt. I knew I was really bothered. I knew I wanted to talk about it. And so the next day I texted the bride and I said, hey, can you get coffee this week? Obviously just knowing I
Can we get coffee this week? I'm going to have to zoom in for this. She texts her and says, hey, can we get coffee this week? The bride responds back, hey, I have blank for spring break all week and blank has to work. After the bridal shower, a lot of things were revealed to me that unfortunately I didn't know were going on. I'm pretty hurt by the things that were said about blank. He's a stand-up guy. He is a stand-up, honest, respectable guy who has never stolen a dime from blank. You and I both know that. Those are serious accusations and ones I will not take lightly. Unfortunately, with your husband making these accusations and blank not being paid what he's owed, that is now directly affecting me and my livelihood. I have no interest in having individuals at my wedding who damage relationships with others and cause families to go without pay. The fake pick-me behavior is also very disturbing. Your husband is not blue-collar. He owns a failing business. Well, you allow him to run the failing business that you own and is home every day. That in itself is a red flag. Protect yourself, Jasmine. I stood by you in times when I shouldn't have. I defended you when I shouldn't have. I kept my mouth shut about things when I shouldn't have. Thank you for coming yesterday with the awkward gift-giving situation where you showed my friends what you were giving me and then I didn't actually. Give it to me was strange behavior. This has nothing to do with the actual present. It's the principle. I don't understand why you would show everyone what you were giving me and then keep it. I think you and I are two very different people because some of the things you've done are things I would never do to anyone. For these reasons, I think it's best you both don't attend our wedding. I hope in the future you and I are able to come together, but at this time, being the most important time of my life, I feel my energy needs to go towards my fiance and our wedding. If you ever feel unsafe with your husband, I'm always here for you. Hey, blank, thanks for sharing your thoughts. No problem. So she's still being way too nice. I'd have cussed that fucking bitch out.
I was hurt knowing I wanted to talk. She responded with a long message that was not very kind, disinviting me and my husband to the wedding and kind of just saying, like, you're not someone I want in my life, you're not someone I want around. The message was not nice. There were a lot of digs in it, and it was really hurtful. And so I could tell that she wasn't looking for a discussion. She wasn't looking for, let's talk about this, let's figure out our issues. It was clear her mind had already been made up. She'd already made this decision. She didn't want me there. Now she's already kind of saying these mean things. My feelings are really hurt, so I just responded and said, okay, thanks for letting me know. I didn't know what else to say, if I'm being completely honest. I didn't want to argue. I didn't want to keep going back and forth. There was nothing else left to say. So I said, thanks for letting me know, or thanks for sharing, something along those lines. Thanks for sharing your thoughts. And that was that. She posted her first TikTok about me and about this whole, like, drama, I guess, if you want to call it that. I didn't see it that way, but she posted her first TikTok, not a nice one. Pretty sure it was not even a full 24 hours later after she had sent me this text. It is what it is. She also proceeded to go through all these group chats that I was a part of, change the group chat names, make nasty comments. She put in the Bridesmaid group chat, oh,
I won't have blank. And someone sent me the alteration girl's number. Blank sent me this. It's her Facebook. Okay, thank you. Jasmine is out of the wedding. Oops, let me remove her. Thief money. Thief money. Ha 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 ha. Changed her name to Thief Money while she's still in the group chat before she removes her.
Jasmine's not coming. Ha 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 ha.
Prior random talk, wedding chat, bride. Previous work chat, bride, my husband.
Oh, she's still in here. Before proceeding to remove me from the chat, she went through other group chats doing similar things. She went through a work group chat that was myself, my husband, her and her now husband, and another couple making fun of us, doing the same thing, and then removed me from the chat, which is crazy because I'm pretty sure it's a chat I had created at one point. But all these hurtful things and the bullying and the hate comments and the things her and her friends have said to me and on the internet now since.
There's these pictures of her, this woman we're watching, Jasmine, in a cowboy hat, and literally she's wearing a cowboy hat, right? And they're like kind of like sultry photos. They're not like porn. They're not like boudoir. They're like, you know, kind of spicy photos, but fully covered, very tasteful or whatever. She claims that it makes you feel better. Her search says maternity photo shoot. Ha ha ha. She's a fan. That's why she has always been a secret hater. Girl, she wants to be you so bad. Stop doing this shit on our wedding weekend. You are a bitch for trying to sabotage shit, Jasmine. You know posting old videos is wrong. You deleted it because you know it was wrong. You want attention. That's all you ever look for. Do your little story time. Do whatever you think you need to do for your little 200 followers. By the way, she has thousands and thousands of followers now because everybody believes her side. But doing it and posting all of this weekend, the weekend is so fucking selfish. She has many more followers than the other girl now, and the other girl had to turn off all of her comments.
Have just got worse. So I'm gonna have to make a video addressing all of the allegations she's now said about me, because that really is why I started this. I want to clear the air. I want to address the things she's saying about the things I've supposedly done. Spoiler, most of them are not at all true. Actually, I don't think any of them are true, but we'll get into it. So there is gonna have to be one more video. This has been a lot, if I'm being completely honest, emotionally. So please bear with me. I will work on getting that one done. My kids go back to school tomorrow. It's Monday. So hopefully I'll have a little bit more time once baby girl's napping and everything tomorrow, and we'll get that one up as fast as I can because I know a lot of people have questions about all the things she said I've been doing. So let's get into it. But please remember, you guys, this is someone that I do have love for. This is someone I care about. I don't want hate for her. I don't want hate for me. I simply want the mean girl behavior and the bullying to stop. So let's move forward with grace and compassion, please.
So now that was part 3. That's the final part. There's a couple little updates, but we got to watch at least the money update so we know what's going on.
Hey, I just uploaded my part 3. I know a lot of people are watching that right now, or maybe going through part 1 and 2. I did just want to get on here super fast and clarify one thing. In my part 3, I stated that this other influencer, the bride, whatever you want to call her, this girl that I really thought was my friend, did get one thing right. In sorts, I feel like it was made to sound very vindictive and harsh and intentional, and it was not. But none of the other allegations or things that she's been saying about me have any truth to them. So I did just want to come on here and clarify real quick, in the name of trying to be honest, in the name of I'm sharing myself with you guys, and so I want to share everything. I don't want to pick and choose. So on Thursday,
dude, like the only friend I had left from high school, I never talk about this, but the only friend like I had left from high school, we were really close. Like we were friends in high school. With a group of friends, but this was like the only one that I stayed in touch with. He stayed in touch with me, and we talked, and sometimes it might be 6 months and we wouldn't talk because he moved out of town and I worked out of town. We might not talk for 6 months, but then, you know, as soon as we were both in town, we'd hit each other up, we'd hang out, blah, blah, blah. Just fucking ghosted me. Probably about a year before my mom died, it was the last time I saw him and talked to him or whatever, and he was going through some stuff where he lived, had like a case coming up for a DUI, but we were talking, we were on good terms or whatever. And then my mom passed away. I tried to reach out to him. In between, I tried to reach out to him. My dad passed away. I tried to reach out to him. Like the only fucking friend I have, just done. And it's still his number. It's still his voicemail. I still see him active. He's not big on social media. I still see him active sometimes someplace, but I don't know what the fuck happened. I have no idea. Will not fucking respond, will not tell me to fuck off, nothing. I finally sent him a text message. I was like, look, man, like I was just trying to reach out to you. I needed somebody, you know, shit happened with my parents. They passed away. I was trying to reach out to anybody to talk to, blah, 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 whatever. Like, I'll just leave you alone, you know. If you want to message me back, that's cool. If you don't, that's fine too. I'm good now, but I just want to just fucking ghosted the shit out of me. I have no idea what happened to this day. I have no idea what happened.
I did share my draft from me going to Scottsdale and getting her Louis Vuitton bracelet, this infamous gift. It was one of the first vlogs. I don't know what you really call it. It was one of the first real TikToks I made on here when I decided to start sharing my life, and I thought it was really, really cute. I've been really proud of this video. I didn't post it right away because after everything happened, it felt weird. So I didn't share it right away. That is true. I have since shared other videos. I shared a video when I went and got my wallet, and I clearly stated, you know, I went and did a return. Like, I've been very honest from the start. But anyways, so on Thursday, I did share this video. The timing was not intentional. I had just spent the morning going through my TikTok analytics. I was looking at what videos were getting any type of views or traction, and it was
I still see his parents every once in a while, and they say, you know, he's doing good, you know, getting by, working a lot, blah, you know, the normal shit. Hi, bye, run into each other for, you know, 10 minutes at a grocery store or something. But
a new purse might come shopping with me at Scottsdale, all these similar videos. And so I did go on and I did post that draft. I thought it was cute. I thought it was sweet. There's nothing mean in it. There's nothing vindictive in it. And I have already posted a video since then stating that I returned it and what I got in exchange. So there was nothing dishonest about it, but I did share that video on Thursday. I do see why she may have...
All right, let's get to the money one. All right. This story is just about the husbands. The chart I showed you, the CEO and the sales manager with a direct manager in between. Here's the money story. While the husband believes he was cheated out of money, and her husband believes that he was paid appropriately.
So let's talk about the husbands. People seem to be really confused about like the work dynamic, what actually transpired between them. Transpired between them. So he was in charge of tracking jobs and scheduling jobs, making sure job completion happened, and then collecting payments from clients after jobs were completed. Those were his only real tasks. That was his role. He does have one person who worked under him, just assisting in his role. I don't know what her title was, but pretty much just his assistant. She would help communicate with the crews, help reach out to clients for payments, order materials, things like that. So he did have one person working directly under him, and then he had a whole team of people above him. So we're gonna go ahead and call his manager Bob, because I don't know how else to tell this story without like referencing these two people. So we're just gonna call him the husband and Bob. So the husband was our operations manager. The goal, of course, was for him to move up. We believe in moving up instead of hiring in. So he got hired in mid-November of 2024. That's barely a year and a couple months ago. So her and I did become friends very fast. I know some people were confused about like how quick that timeline actually was. We met in November of 2024. So he got hired on. This is his position. Okay. So Bob, his direct manager, here's the husband. Bob, his direct manager, was in charge of our sales team, watching over him, and then also running a canvassing team. Things were really good in the beginning. He talked this really big game about all the things he could do. Bob did for our sales team and canvassing, and let him bring on this team. It wasn't performing, so his canvassing team, the entire team, got cut.
So the husband's manager kind of overpromised and underdelivered.
The entire program got cut. We no longer were doing it. It just simply wasn't worth it for the time, the money, the things we were spending. It just didn't make sense. So his entire canvassing team got cut, and that's kind of where these problems started. He was still there. He was still in the role, but he was not showing up in office. He was not doing all these other tasks and roles and responsibilities that he had previously been doing. It was just so clear that the heart was out of it. And I think it's because half of his team had been cut and he kind of just was already like over it. I think his feelings were hurt. I think he realized that we were realizing he wasn't performing, and I think he knew that end was coming anyways. Half his team got cut, the other half wasn't performing. It just was inevitable. So he got fired in the morning, and that very same night, so not even a full 12 hours later, the husband calls my husband and is like, hey, I just wanted to reach out. You know, Bob got fired today, and I was really close with him. I don't want to have to go through new management. I really was sticking around with him. Like, he's helped me a lot in this position. It's just kind of my time to bow out too. We were totally fine with that. Conversation ended good. Everyone was good. Me and the bride were good. My husband and this husband were fine. Everything was okay. Fast forward, he comes in to get his check.
So basically he says when his manager gets fired, he said, look, you know, I don't want to go through a new manager, retrain, blah, blah, blah. I think it's time for me to move on too. And everybody was fine with that. Everybody was fine with that.
It's always a check because there's always equipment that needs to be returned. He had office keys, he had iPads. That stuff was not the issue. So both Bob and the husband got invited in to come pick up their final check. Bob comes in, gets his check, looks at it, and my husband lets him know, hey, during the time you've been without us gone, since you've been let go, we've been looking into the numbers, we've audited your position, and there's a lot of numbers that don't make sense.
This is the direct manager here saying, hey, your numbers don't make sense. It seems like you were fudging the numbers.
Jobs were being pushed through, fake jobs that were never completed. You got paid out X amount of money on fake jobs. Jobs that sure, maybe we did a bid for or quote for, but that never signed, or maybe signed and canceled, or these jobs never happened. We were never paid on these jobs. These jobs never were completed by us. The work was never done by us, but he got paid on them. That's not how it's supposed to work. So my husband tells him this, and Bob looks at my husband and goes, I get it, man. Do you need to keep this? He got paid his salary. He did not get paid his commissions for that month. He straight tells my husband, he's like, do you need to keep this as a clawback? Not what are you talking about? Not what do you mean? Not let me see the numbers.
So he knew he was lying. He literally said, do you need to keep my salary for clawback, right, over the stuff that I lied about?
You need to keep this. And I feel like that right there says everything. Like, clearly he knew. So my husband was like, no, dude, we're good. I paid you what I owe you. I paid you your salary. Let's just call it a day. Let's go our separate ways. Bob says, okay, cool. Thanks, man. The husband comes in, gets his check, and my husband, out of the want to keep this friendship alive and the want to be, I guess, fairer to him, paid him his salary, and he still got his commissions, because we thought like, okay, maybe Bob was just doing this and, you know, this guy didn't really know, even though it was his job to know. We were like, okay, maybe, you know, it wasn't intentional. He wasn't aware. So the other husband,
they paid the husband his full salary plus full commissions, even though somebody was fucking with the numbers. They blamed it all on his boss, right? The one they originally fired, and sent it on.
Husband gets his check, looks at it, and is like, okay, cool, thanks, man, and leaves. Does not say a word. If your check was $4,000 less than you expected, I feel like you would say something. He did not. So he left. Fast forward, it's 6-7 hours later. My husband texts me and goes, hey, you forgot to give me the office key. Can you please have your wife bring it to the bridal shower tomorrow to give to Jazz? He responds and is like, yeah, sure. He then just instantly, so my husband started the conversation. He then just instantly starts going off. Hey, our gross revenue was this month.
All right. So hours later, after he picks up his check, his commission, his check, his salary check, he says, yo, I forgot to get your key. I forgot something to get your key from you, blank. That's right. I'll give it to Jazz tomorrow. Do you have a breakdown of how you calculated this check? My salary was blank. You paid blank. Gross sales from February were blank, and the blank gross plan I've been on since the start is worth blank. Blank, what I received in addition to the salary, blank. When will that be paid out? The actual revenue for February was blank. That puts your bonus at blank. Your manager were reporting on false numbers for several months. You were overpaid blank just in the last 3 months from false reporting sales with no approved financing, no deposit collected, and were being added into the list of completed sales. But I still added the February bonus on without any clawbacks, even though you've been overpaid, for miscalculations on that end. Hope that makes sense. How is false reporting your claim now when you approve the override being paid on gross? This is really shysty ending to our professional relationship, man. You're essentially doing Jew math because it suits you. What math? You're doing Jew math. This is the bride's husband. You're doing Jew math because it suits you. That doesn't sit right with me. To say I was overpaid on a comp plan you approved at the inception of our roles is honestly the exact move I thought you'd make, but I figured you would find a way to not fuck over a friend. So as nicely as I can put it, please reread the third paragraph to my last text. Digest the facts and let me know when you'll be paying the remainder, basically.
Why wasn't I paid commission on that? My husband responded and was like, bud, no, it wasn't. Like, what are you talking about? Here's the actual numbers from our CFO. I'm pretty sure that's who sent it. Here's our actual numbers for the month. There's a very big difference in these two numbers. This number is the number Bob had reported. It was not actual. It was not true. And there were a lot of these fake or wrongly labeled jobs. That was not our revenue. And so my husband responded and explained it to him and was like, dude, no, like I spoke to Bob this morning. I explained it to him. I thought you were good because you got paid properly. Like, didn't explain it to you. I gave you your commissions. Here's why. Explained it to him. He comes back now and is like, okay, cool. I don't think he's like, okay, cool. He still was angry, but he was like, no, it's this. My husband was like, no, like here's the real number. There's a big difference in these two numbers of.
Let's read again. Oh, here's the end of that message. So as nicely as I can put it, please reread the third paragraph in my last text, digest the facts, and let me know when you'll be playing out the comp plan that I've been on since August. And he sent some numbers. It says, final numbers from last week, 26 sets, final WTD, call team, 93 sets, final WTD shows. 251 out of 352, 71% final utilization February. And then it's got a bunch of contact. And it says final February, and it's how much final gross February. It says, not sure where you're getting your numbers from. Here are the actual numbers for February. I haven't Jewed, in quotes, you at all. And the fact that's what you expected me to do says a lot about what you think of me. Really disappointing from a supposed friend. I didn't screw you over at all, even after you screwed me over. You didn't help train the new guy at all, or really offer any detailed support like you swore you would. Blank and I talked about it this morning, and he didn't get a bonus at all because of how overpaid you guys have been the last couple months for jobs that had no deposits, they were approved without funding, or never scheduled. And he clearly understood and had no issue with it. I still gave you your bonus as a friend, and because I felt it was the right thing to do. I don't know how you think you're getting paid on jobs that were literally never got any money on makes sense. Skipping right to the good part. $470,000 times 0.75 is blank.
Revenue. He comes back finally and was like, okay, well, you paid me the wrong commission. And my husband was like, what are you talking about? And he goes, I get paid this commission. My husband said, no, you don't. You get paid this commission. I have your paperwork. Look. No, I've been getting paid this. No, you don't. Yes, I do. Ask Bob. Okay, so we asked Bob, and he confirmed that the paperwork my husband had was correct. That yes, he got paid this commission percentage. He didn't like that. I don't know if...
All right, back to reading. Hold on. This is crazy. You, Bob, and I can get on a call, Bob the manager, can get on a call whenever you'd like. I have told you the pay plan that I have been on. You're dodging and doing what you do with people you owe money to. You're right. We are going in circles. The fact is you owe me money. I didn't start this conversation this morning because I expected your response to be an understanding of the timeline in which I would be receiving the remaining amount. You are using an improper pay scale. You aren't listening to the plan I had and have been on because it results in you spending more money you probably don't have. I said, if you want to switch to net, cool. I've clarified multiple times what the blank is that I have always been on. I have never been paid blank, not once. You're grasping at straws and haven't made any sense. You really think I would continue to put up with the bullshit in your company for blank and leave sales? You're a fucking fraud. So it seems like now he's got a discrepancy of like, I make a higher percentage than what you've been paying me.
He didn't like that it was the wrong number that he expected. I don't know if he didn't like that now he was trying to lie about like the commission. I don't know. My husband did confirm with Bob that that was the correct pay structure, and the husband didn't like it. So no money is owed. No money has been owed. He got paid properly on the real numbers, and I think that's what made him mad. Is because it wasn't what he was expecting, and it wasn't what they had been doing. It had been months since we've been looking into it that they were doing this, and so that's what started this whole you owe me money thing, or this like theory. It's not true. It has never been true. So I'll go ahead and put a few other messages in too, so you guys can kind of look at them. It is a little bit confusing. I am going to have to blur out like the commission percentages and everything, because obviously we don't want to discuss actual numbers, but it's not true and the money is not owed. So I just wanted to clarify on that. I wanted to clear that up. I'm sorry this video was long. I feel like it's more technical, so it's kind of harder to explain, but that's the gist of it. So no money's owed, no one was owed anything, and no one was screwed.
By the way, the husband, the brand new husband, not this woman's husband, the other woman's husband, now husband, made a response video and said that Jasmine was never, ever a maid of honor. She was just a bridesmaid, and they decided to cut her from the wedding when her husband stole money, blah, 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 whatever. Here she is listed as the maid of honor, Jasmine Ponce, maid of honor. You want to know what's super interesting? This is Brian and Kennedy's wedding fucking thing. You want to know what's super interesting about that? David Ponce, her husband, is listed as a groomsman as well. Crazy drama on these TikTok streets, dude.
And what gave you the confidence?
When I was in high school, I had a really good friend of mine who comes in the morning.
I think that's it for the drama.
Okay,
Oh,
let's
this one.
talk about all these allegations real quick. Sorry if you hear the baby monitor. So first, one of the big things that was being said was that I copied her engagement photo shoot location. We used the same photographer. A lot of us in that friend group all used the same photographer. I actually worked with that photographer just 2 weeks before that. I don't even know if it was a full 2 weeks, in a brand photo shoot for a really sweet friend of mine and her business. So the photographer posted on Instagram saying, hey, I want to shoot in this location. I had a cancellation, discounted session. I responded. The photographer and I had actually already been talking about doing a mommy and me session the week prior that I couldn't make. So when she posted it as a discount session, I absolutely jumped on it. Photos are expensive, so that was like, oh yeah, like why wouldn't I? The location had nothing to do with it. That was not the first thing that came to mind. I was excited about A, photos in a time that would work for me, B, a discounted session, and C, the photographer chose the spot. So that settles that. There was no other reason behind it besides that. The photographer chose it, and it worked in my schedule, and it worked with the idea we had. So there's that. Second, this boudoir photo shoot. My photos are not boudoir. They were never meant to be. The same friend who I did the brand photo shoot with that photographer, the friend came to me and said, hey, I want some filler photos to post. I've been posting all the brand content, but like that's kind of a lot. I want a little bit of diversity on my feed that I can post. Will you come to my house? I'm just gonna get a photo backdrop. She borrowed it from a friend, from someone else. She got the photo backdrop and she was like, hey, do you wanna just come over? I'm gonna also invite other friends, these two girls. Do you want to come over and do some like little filler photos? We took them in her kitchen on her iPhone. It was not a photo shoot. It was not supposed to be boudoir. It was not supposed to be anything crazy. She sent me all of the inspo that she wanted, and then all of us girls just brought outfits and things that we had that closest fell in line with the photo shoot.
The new husband has now made his account completely private.
Sent us. None of us even had matching outfits. None of us even, like, it really was just like a, hey, come over, let's take photos, let's see what we can make work. So that was also, I will say, when my friend sent me the photo inspo and when we decided what we were going to do was 2 weeks before
every state in America
did her boudoir photo shoot. I would also like to add, of course, I've seen her stuff, I've gone through it, I've looked at it. A lot of it was about me, so of course I've seen it and I've looked at it. She had only ever posted 2 photos from her boudoir shoot, both of which were in a black outfit with no hat. There was no way for me to know that she had done that. For me to have known that she went and took photos in her hat, I had no clue. I had just finished a Western themed content shoot. Of course I had boots and a hat. We just went and did a whole professional photo shoot for my friend's brand for it. So when she sent me the info pics, which I'll include our conversation on here, I was like, yeah, of course, that's so cute, let's do it, because I already had all the stuff, why not? So I wanted to add that. I would also like to add, I posted mine when she responded saying there was an issue and that I copied her. There was no way for me to even know that that was copying her. She never posted a photo in her hat. She never, second of all, mine aren't even supposed to be.
They basically both have photos wearing a cowboy hat.
And they were taken for a friend's business, and it was my friend's idea. I was just helping out. And it was fun. And I felt great about myself in the photos. And after living in a...
It was for a spray tan business, basically. The friend is in the chat saying, hey, I'm the spray tan artist who had all these photo shoots done. I personally planned every single one of them. I don't know who the bride is in this situation. It was my ideas, my models, all chosen based on who supports my business personally and the diversity I was looking for at the time to promote my business.
Body that I didn't like for years. Why would I not post photos that I felt good about myself in? So there's that. Another one of the allegations, and I'm just going to try and like fire these off so we can get through it. Another one of the allegations she said was that I changed RSVPs on her wedding website. This one makes me kind of laugh. Why? What would have been the purpose of that? I'm just going to straight up say it. I didn't do that. I don't have a reason. I don't have other options to give you guys. I don't know. If that happened or not, I don't know. It wasn't me. And what purpose would that have served? Obviously, this girl's going to the wedding. She's a bridesmaid. They talk constantly. What would changing her RSVP do? Literally nothing. Not a single thing. So I really don't even get what that's supposed to be about or what that means. That's just weird to me.
I want to see this. Getting kicked out of a wedding and then sneaking around changing RSVPs is genuinely humiliating behavior. Hope that little stunt was worth looking even crazier. Stop doing this shit or blanks on our wedding weekend, I guess. Brian or maybe the last name is mentioned here. You are a bitch for trying to sabotage shit, Jasmine. You were posting old videos. Delete it. We already read that. Do your little story time, 200 followers. You don't respond because you are scared. You're scared of confrontation. You're wrong. And
I did get a text about that. I had no clue what they were talking about. I honestly just thought it was trying to start more drama, so I did not even respond. Another allegation I saw, well, not an allegation, but something she said that a lot of people have been questioning is she ended her message to me, disinviting to the wedding with, and if you ever feel safe with my husband, let me know. I do not feel unsafe. I just said that wrong. She said if you ever feel unsafe. I do not feel unsafe. I've never felt unsafe with my husband. And furthermore,
that was just a shot at your husband by her saying that. Right?
Because there are a lot of people who are in unsafe situations or marriages or relationships. Her going out of her way to start all this drama and all these hurtful things and add all this stress to my life and to our lives and to my husband's business would probably be the number one way to make it worse. And so for her to sit here as a friend and say, oh, if you're unsafe, let me know and I'll be there for you, but then to proceed to do behaviors that would absolutely intensify a situation like that, I don't have a comment on that. But I am safe at home. I am well loved. My husband has been extremely kind and supportive through all of this. If I missed any other allegations, if you guys have any other questions about any of the things she posted or said, or any of the other crazy things, let me know and I'm happy to try and respond to them. I have also been jumping on live. Last night was my first one and I plan on doing it again today. And I've been answering questions on there too. So I appreciate it. And thank you guys all for being here and sticking with me through this crazy journey. Okay, let's talk.
I think that's all of them. There you go. That's the TikTok drama. Everybody's caught up. Can't believe you guys are watching shit about the war in Iran instead of TikTok drama. Y'all crazy? Out of your minds? Gotta have priorities at some point, guys.
Thank you very much. My fellow Americans, good evening. Let me begin by congratulating the team at NASA and our brave astronauts on the successful launch of Artemis II. It was quite something. It will be traveling further than any manned rocket has ever flown and will very substantially pass the moon, go around it, and come back home from a distance that has never been done before. It's amazing.
Is this about the Iran war?
My fellow Americans, good evening. Let me begin by congratulating the team at NASA and our brave astronauts on the successful launch of Artemis II. It was quite something. It will be traveling further than any manned rocket has ever flown and will very substantially pass the moon, go around it, and come back home from a distance that has...
Not on a flat Earth, it won't.
...never been done before. It's amazing. They are on the way, and God bless them. These are brave people. We want to God bless those 4 unbelievable astronauts. As we speak this evening, it's been just 1 month since...
So they own a company, I finally found it, called Rise Outdoor Creations. Professional artificial turf installation, pavers, and outdoor lighting. And they are hiring. Top sales professionals make between $180,000 to $300,000 a year, unlimited commission potential, rapidly growing outdoor design company, opportunity to advance into leadership. That's good money, dude.
Since the United States military began Operation Epic Fury, targeting the world's #1 state sponsor of terror, Iran. In these past 4 weeks, our armed forces have delivered swift, decisive, overwhelming victories on the battlefield. Victories like few people have ever seen before. Tonight, Iran's Navy is gone. Their Air Force is in ruins. Their leaders, most of them...
And the Strait of Hormuz is still closed.
Terrorist regime they led are now dead. Their command and control of the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps is being decimated as we speak. Their ability to launch missiles and drones is dramatically curtailed, and their weapons, factories, and rocket launchers are being blown to pieces. Very few of them left. Never in the history of warfare has an enemy suffered such clear and devastating large-scale losses in a matter of weeks. Our enemies are losing, in America, as it has been for 5 years under my presidency, is winning, and now winning bigger than ever before. Before discussing this current situation, I also want to thank our troops for the masterful job they did in taking the country of Venezuela in a matter of minutes. That hit was quick, lethal, violent, and respected by everyone all over the world. After rebuilding our military during my first term, we have by far the strongest military anywhere in the world, and now we're working along with Venezuela and are, in a true sense, joint venture partners. We're getting along incredibly well in the production and sale of massive amounts of oil and gas, the second largest reserves on Earth after the United States of America. We're now totally independent of the Middle East, and yet we are there to help. We don't have to be there. We don't need their oil.
Imagine screaming that about another grown man. Oh, we love you, and that's my guy right there. Oh, I'll die for Israel. Yeah.
We don't need
Take me, you Netanyahu, from behind.
anything they have, but we're there to help our allies.
Losers.
Tonight, I want to provide an update on the tremendous progress our warriors have made in Iran and discuss why Operation Epic Fury is necessary for the safety of America and the security of the free world. From the very first day I announced my campaign for president in 2015, I have vowed that I would never allow Iran to have a nuclear weapon. This fanatical regime has been chanting death to America, death to Israel for 47 years.
You know, most of those people you see in those rallies are government employees that are forced to show up at those rallies, right? Or no? Okay.
The proxies were behind the murder of 241 Americans in the Marine barracks bombing in Beirut, the slaughter of hundreds of our service members with roadside bombs. They were involved in the attack on the USS Cole, and they carried out the countless other heinous acts, including the just horrible, bloody atrocities of October 7th in Israel, something that most people have never seen anything like it. This murderous regime also recently...
How can everything be like no one's ever seen anything like it, ever? The thing that never, ever, ever has ever been seen or will be seen again until the next thing.
Killed 45,000 of their own people.
The power of Christ compels you to give little Bert a little kiss.
Chort, give Bort a kiss.
Who were protesting in Iran. 45,000 dead. For these terrorists to have nuclear weapons would be an intolerable threat. The most violent and thuggish regime on earth would be free to carry out their campaigns of terror, coercion, conquest, and mass murder from behind a nuclear shield. I will never let that happen, and neither should any of our past presidents. This situation has been going on for 47 years and should have been handled long before I arrived in office. I did many things during my...
That's MAGA's new go-to, is this is not a new war. He said no new wars. Not a new war. It's been going on for almost 50 years. It's an old war. He's finally ending it.
Terms in office to stop the quest for nuclear weapons by Iran first. And perhaps most importantly, I killed General Qasem Soleimani in my first term. He was an evil genius, brilliant person, a horrible human being, however, the father of the roadside bomb. And he lived just horrible what he did. Iran would have been perhaps in far better, stronger position. Had he lived, we would have had probably a different conversation tonight. But you know what? We'd still be winning and winning big. And then, very importantly, terminated Barack Hussein Obama's Iran nuclear deal, a disaster. Obama gave them $1.7 billion in cash. green cash, took it out of banks from Virginia.
That's actually not true, and banks weren't out of cash. That's a lie Trump tells.
D.C. and Maryland, all the cash they had. He flew it by airplanes in an attempt to buy their respect and loyalty, but it didn't work. They laughed at our president and went on with their mission to have a nuclear bomb. His Iran deal would have led to a colossal arsenal of massive nuclear weapons for Iran, and
they were just days away from making a nuclear weapon then, too, but somehow they never managed to do it and passed all their inspections and complied completely with the Iran nuclear deal.
Would have had them years ago, and they would have used them. Would have been a different world. There would have been no Middle East and no Israel right now, in my opinion, the opinion of a lot of great experts. Had I not terminated that terrible deal, I was so honored to do it. I was so proud to do it. It was so bad right from the beginning. Essentially, I did what no other president was willing to do. They made mistakes, and I am.
Take anything that any other president has ever gotten credit for and destroy it, yes.
I'm correcting them. My first preference was always the path of diplomacy, yet the regime continued their relentless quest for nuclear weapons and rejected every attempt at an agreement. For this reason, in June, I ordered a strike on Iran's key nuclear facilities, an Operation Midnight Hammer. Nobody's ever seen anything like it. Those beautiful B-2 bombers performed magnificently. We totally obliterated those nuclear sites. The regime then sought to rebuild their nuclear program at a totally different location, making clear they had no intention of abandoning their pursuit of nuclear weapons. They were also rapidly building a vast stockpile of conventional ballistic missiles and would soon have had missiles that could reach the
Epstein's fury, baby.
Europe and virtually any other place on Earth. Iran's strategy was so obvious. They
even fucking Tulsi Gabbard had to come in and say, no, well, they're not even on our top threat watch list.
Wanted to produce as many missiles as possible, and they did, with the longest range possible.
Global Terror Threat Index.
Weapons that nobody believed they had. We just learned that out. We took them out. We took them all out so that no one would really dare stop them. And their race for a nuclear bomb, a nuclear weapon like nobody's ever seen before. They were right at the doorstep. For years, everyone has said that Iran cannot have nuclear weapons, but in the end, those are just words if you're not willing to take action when the time comes. As I stated in my announcement of Operation Epic Fury, our objectives are very simple and clear. We are systematically dismantling the regime's ability to threaten America or project power outside of their borders. That means eliminating Iran's Navy, which is now absolutely destroyed, hurting their Air Force and their missile program at levels never seen before, and annihilating their defense industrial base. We've done all of it. Their Navy is gone. Their Air Force is gone. Their missiles are just about used up or beaten. Taken together, these actions will cripple Iran military, crush their ability to support terrorist proxies, and deny them the ability to build a nuclear bomb. Our armed forces have been extraordinary. There's never been anything like it militarily. Everyone is talking about it, and tonight I'm pleased to say that these core strategic objectives are nearing completion. As we celebrate this progress, we think especially of the 13 American warriors who have laid down their lives in this fight to prevent our children from ever having to face a nuclear Iran. Twice this past month,
thanks for laying down your life for Israel.
I've traveled to Dover Air Force Base, and it's been something. I wanted to be with those heroes as they return to America.
With my hat on.
American soil, and I was with them and their families.
With a photo op.
Parents, their wives, their husbands. We salute them, and now we must honor them by completing the mission for which they gave their lives. And every single one of the people, their loved ones said, please, sir, please finish the job. Every one of them. And we are going to finish the job, and we're going to finish it very fast. We're getting very close. I want to thank our allies in the Middle East, Israel, Saudi Arabia, Qatar, the UAE, Kuwait, and Bahrain. They've been great, and we will not let them get hurt or fail in any way, shape, or form. Many Americans have been concerned to see the recent rise in gasoline prices here at home. This short-term increase has been entirely the result of the Iranian regime launching deranged terror attacks against commercial oil tankers in neighboring countries that have...
And they will. That's their one chip they got.
Nothing to do with the conflict. This is yet more proof that Iran can never be trusted with nuclear weapons. They will use them, and they will use them quickly. It would lead to decades of extortion, economic pain, and instability worse than we can ever imagine. The United States has never been better prepared economically to confront this threat. You all know that. We built the strongest economy in history.
Motherfucker's going to put me to sleep, dude.
Strongest in history. In 1 year, we've taken a dead and crippled country.
The hottest. We're the hottest.
And crippled country after the...
Other countries tell me all the time, you used to look at your country and say, sir, your country's dead and crippled.
Last administration, and made it the hottest country anywhere in the world.
Did better than every other fucking country coming out of COVID. Every country.
By far, with no inflation, record-setting investments coming into the United States, over $18 trillion.
That no one can account for. They're just promises that Trump made. Well, you know, this guy in Thailand said he was bringing $3 billion worth of ladyboys.
And the highest stock market ever, with 53 all-time record highs in just 1 year. It all positioned us to get rid of a cancer that has long simmered. It's known as the nuclear Iran, and they didn't know what was coming. They've never imagined it. Remember, because of our Drill Baby Drill program,
your kids are going to die in a war for Israel, and gas is at $11 a gallon. But, you know, the bird flu's over.
America has plenty of gas. We have so much gas. Under my leadership, we are #1 producer of oil and gas on the planet, without even discussing the millions of barrels that we're getting from Venezuela. Because of the Trump administration's policies, we produce more oil and gas than Saudi Arabia and Russia combined. Think of that, Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, we were producing more gas under Joe Biden, but go ahead.
And Russia combined, and that number will soon be substantially higher than that. There's no country like us anywhere in the world, and we're in great shape for the future. The United States imports almost no oil through the Hormuz Strait and won't be taking any in the future. We don't need it. We haven't needed it, and we don't need it.
So he's just going to tell our allies to get fucked, right? But that's not how a global oil economy works. Our people will just sell to the highest bidder. And if they can't get it through the Strait of Hormuz, other countries are going to be like, well, we'll pay more for it. And then we have to pay more, and that's how energy works.
We've beaten...
If oil companies got to set the price, they just set it at fucking $120 a barrel and leave it. They don't. It's the demand for it. So we can't be like, well, we're keeping our oil at $75 a barrel. But because the Straits shut down and blah, 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 this, that, and the other, all other foreign countries are paying $120 a barrel. No, it's going to equalize somewhere.
And completely decimated Iran. They are decimated, both militarily and economically and in every other way. And the countries of the world that...
Both militarily, economically, every other leeway.
Who receive oil through the Hormuz Strait must take care of that passage. They must cherish it. They must grab it and cherish it. They can do it.
This is literally the United States saying, we don't know how to take the strait back. So good luck to our allies. Hopefully you can get it open.
Easily, we will be helpful, but they should take the lead in protecting the oil that they so desperately depend on. So to those countries that can't get fuel, many of which refuse to get involved in the decapitation of Iran.
You told them not to, you little bitch. Dude, you're like, we don't need anybody. Nobody should show up. Also, this should have been a joint venture from the get-go.
I have a suggestion. #1, buy oil from the United States of America. We have plenty. We have so much. And #2, build up some delayed courage. Should have done it before. Should have done it with us, as we asked. go to the strait and just take it, protect it, use it for yourselves. Iran has been essentially decimated. The hard part is done, so it should be easy. And in any event, when this conflict is over, the strait will open up naturally. It'll just open up naturally. They're going to want to be able to sell oil because that's all they have to try and rebuild. It will resume the flowing, and the gas prices will rapidly come back down. Stock prices will rapidly go back up. They haven't come down very much, frankly. They came down a little bit, but they've had some very good days over the last couple of days. We've done actually much better than I thought, but we had to take that little journey to Iran to get rid of this horrible threat. With our historic tax cuts where people are...
When Trump took office, there were 590 oil rigs, or total rigs. That's oil, gas, miscellaneous. To get combined, 593. Now there's 543. We've lost 50 rigs since he took office.
Are just now talking about receiving larger refunds than they ever thought possible. They are getting so much more money than they thought. That's from the great, big, beautiful bill. Our economy is strong and improved.
Yeah, and it's all deficit spending, bro. You didn't make any cuts. Doge didn't make any cuts. You gave gigantic tax cuts to the wealthy, and we're not bringing in any more income. You've the deficit you're going to get under control. You've destroyed any chance of that.
Improving by the day, and it will soon be roaring back like never before. It will top the levels that it was a month ago. I've made clear from the beginning of Operation Epic Fury that we will continue until our objectives are fully achieved. Thanks to the progress we've made, I can say tonight that we are on track to complete all of America's military objectives shortly, very shortly. We're going to hit them extremely hard over the next 2 to 3 weeks. We're going to bring them back to the Stone Ages where they belong. In the meantime, discussions are ongoing. Regime change was not our goal. We never said regime change, but regime change has occurred because of all of their original leaders' death. They're all dead. The new group is less radical and much more reasonable. Yet if during this period of time no deal is made, we have our eyes on key targets. If there is no deal, we are going to hit each and every one of their electric generating plants very hard and probably simultaneously. We have not hit their oil, even though that's the easiest target of all, because it would not give them even a small chance of survival or rebuilding. But we could hit it, and it would be gone, and there's not a thing they could do about it.
Yeah, they only pretend to care about the debt when we're trying to do something for the poor or the veterans or the needy or the single moms or the kids or school lunches, or they only pretend to care about the debt then. But when we're talking about corporations and war, they're like, hey, we can't afford not to.
They have no anti-aircraft equipment. Their radar is 100% annihilated. We are unstoppable as a military force. The nuclear sites that we obliterated with the B-2 bombers have been hit so hard that it would take months to get near the nuclear dust, and we have it under intense satellite surveillance and control. If we see them make a move, even a move for it, we'll hit them with missiles very hard again. We have all the cards, they have none. It's very important that we keep this conflict in perspective. American involvement in World War I lasted 1 year, 7 months, and 5 days. World War II lasted for 3 years, 8 months, and 25 days. The Korean War lasted for 3 years, 1 month, and 2 days. The Vietnam War lasted for 19 years, 5 months, and 29 days. Iraq went on for 8 years, 8 months, and 28 days. We are in this military operation, so powerful, so brilliant, against one of the most powerful countries for 32 days. And the country has been eviscerated and essentially is really no longer a threat. They were the bully of the Middle East, but they're the bully no longer. This is a true investment in your children and your grandchildren's future. The whole world is watching, and they can't leave the power, strength, and brilliance. They just can't believe what they're seeing. They leave it to your imagination, but they can't believe what they're seeing, the brilliance of the United States military. Tonight, every American can look forward to a day when we are finally free from the wickedness of Iranian aggression and the specter of nuclear blackmail. Because of the actions we have taken, we are on the cusp
nuclear black belts.
Finally free from the wickedness of Iranian aggression and the specter of nuclear blackmail. Because of
the specter of nuclear black belts.
the action, every American can look forward to a day when we are finally free from the wickedness of Iranian aggression and the specter of nuclear blackmail. Because of the actions.
I know he means blackmail. That's not what he said.
We have taken and look forward to a day when we are finally free from the wickedness of Iranian aggression and the specter of nuclear blackmail. Because of the actions we have taken,
nuclear blackmail,
we are on the cusp of ending Iran's sinister threat to America and the world. And I'll tell you, the world is watching. And when
the world is fucking pissed at the United States, and rightfully so. I knew he was going to do this. Say, hey, you know, fuck it. We don't really use the straight that much. You guys will figure it out, right?
It's all over. The United States will be safer.
It's like you and all your friends are trapped in a room with a bee's nest, and you run up and kick the shit out of the bee's nest, and then run outside and lock the door and say, I don't even like honey. Good luck, guys.
Stronger, more prosperous, and greater than it has ever been before. May God bless the men and women of the United States Armed Forces, and may God bless the United States of America. Thank you very much, and good night.
Horrible speech, dude. Horrible speech. We'll go over this tomorrow. It's getting late here. Thank you for hanging out with me. I got work to do tomorrow at the campground, and I got to take Liam on a date, apparently. Thank you guys for joining us. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it. Listen to me, bitch, and share some TikTok drama with you. Hope you enjoyed it. I like covering drama sometimes. I know it took up the whole show, and chat kind of slowed down. I guess you guys got bored of it, but still, it's I like going over drama things. Anyways, thank you guys for joining us. Thank you for being here. Thanks for hanging out with me. Support the show, please. That's how I pay the bills and keep the office open so I can keep doing the show. I appreciate it. Thank you guys for joining us. Thank you for being here. Thanks for hanging out with me. I'll see everybody in the new one, on the next one tomorrow. Have a good night. Talk to you later. Love you. See you. Bye.
But I can tell you this about if this douchebag happens to see this particular show, you don't have the forking balls to call out the people on this planet by name and tell them exactly who they are and tell them the rest of the world who they are. You don't have the forking balls. You don't have the balls.
Okay, Scott.
Here we go, I think I started some shit. Listen off, it's about to get lit. Get the place in the best, you know that stage is set. You better buckle up, cause you ain't seen nothing yet. Here we go, I think I started some shit. Listen off, it's about to get lit. Get the place in the best, you know that stage is set. You better buckle up, cause you ain't seen nothing yet.
And they say that I'm a lunatic. Well, listen, bitch, I came equipped with a quick wit and a sixth sense for the stupid shit.
Where my true believer?
Y'all need Jesus.
Praise the Lord, head to the extreme.
All these false fucking prophets who profit off of gossip. Worshipping drums, cocking, begging for a throat deposit. Swinging fucking meat hammers like fool in a thong. He's strapped to the shaft, eating his chest like he's King Kong. Starving for attention, I'ma make your gut burst. I'll be your huckleberry, I can quench that thirst. Baby eating lizard people, alien sex. What's next? Trump in a dress, fucking Flynn on his desk. A retard in a vest, climbing up 5G towers. Cause you told him if he did, he'd get fucking superpowers.
Here we go, I think I started some shit. Piss them off, it's about to get lit. Get the place in the best, you know that stage is set. You better buckle up, cause you ain't seen nothing yet. Here we go, I think I started some shit. Piss them off, it's about to get lit. Get the place in the best, you know that stage is set. You better
buckle up, cause you ain't seen none yet. I used to find clues too when I was high on shrooms. I found myself a tunnel that led to Jason Q's bedroom. Open his closet, I found some of his meat rockets. I strapped it to my shoes and then I flew through the roof. I found myself in orbit strapped to an F-16. High on amphetamine, with Trump in between. Put on a light coat of baby oil and saluted the troops. He tapped me on the shoulder and said, "This is gonna be it." Whoa, wait. Stop. What? I'll get my files. Wait, what are you doing? Stop. Hold on. Fucking stop. Dude, come on. Seriously. This is my mom's an alcoholic. Give me oh my God. Damn it. Here we go, I think I started some shit. It's the off, it's about to get lit. Get the place in them bets, you know that stage is set. You better buckle up, cause you ain't seen none yet. Here we go, I think I started some shit. Piss them off, it's about to get lit. Get the place in them bets, you know that stage is set. You better buckle up, cause you ain't seen none yet. Round 3. Down goes Nino. Please say it isn't so. Got him backed up on the ropes, trying to ram it down his throat. Now things are getting rocking, he was doing so well. It's all over, hands on his shoulders, they ringing his bell. You got Frog News Network doing no damn reason.
Good night, guys.